kids. It's time to get some SML podcast all up in that.
What's up, everyone? This is the SML Podcast. I am your host, Joe. We have a fun show lined up. Cole's going to be here later on, but for now, it's wrestling weekend. Tim Ekkebus, you're here. How are you doing?
Oh, man, I am great. It has been, I don't know, it's been a heck of a few months for wrestling.
It has. There's been some lows. There's been some pretty recent highs. It seems like they're starting to turn things around and get their shit together.
Oh, God, let's hope. This would be a great weekend to do it. Yeah, I have been, obviously been watching some AEW shows, the up-and-coming AEW. I have been watching as much of the New Japan G1 Climax 29 as I can. And, yeah, I'm oddly, I had to do a lot of catching up on, NXT, oddly, which is funny because I am going to the show this weekend. I will be at NXT Toronto 2019, NXT TakeOver, and I am fucking stoked. I missed last time TakeOver was in town. I did not make it. Well, last time TakeOver was in the town 2 hours away.
Yeah,
I didn't make it, and I missed out on one of the best matches in NXT history, which was the Revival DIY 2 out of 3 falls match.
Oh, man, that one was so good.
Yes, I missed Andrade, I believe, beating Drew McIntyre for the title. God, was that the Dream Aleister Black match too? Oh my God, if I missed... Either way, I am very excited to be going to a TakeOver. This is my first time going to a live wrestling in a long time. Not since Survivor Series in 2002.
Holy shit, that has been a long time.
I think that's how long ago it was. I remember Randy Orton standing tall at the end of the show. This would have been, I guess, the Survivor Series after he won the title from Redacted at SummerSlam that year. The man whose name we cannot speak. Was it this year?
Redacted. Oh, God.
Redacted. No, wait, that was at MSG.
Stevie Richards?
No, it must. Oh, wait, of course it wasn't 2000. It must have been 2004, maybe? Something like that. Yeah, early 2000s, let's say. I don't remember anything about that pay-per-view, so neither do you. And I was
Not
there.
at all.
No, that was it. It was 2004. Yeah. Yeah, headlined by Team Orton versus Team Triple H.
Oh,
Team Triple
boy.
H featuring the likes of Batista, Edge, Triple H, and Gene Snitsky.
Oh,
Randy Orton's team featuring Chris Benoit, Chris Jericho, Randy Orton, and Maven.
Holy shit.
Yeah, Undertaker beat Heidenreich. Team Guerrero beat Team Angle, so I did get to see Eddie Guerrero live.
Wait, was that the Survivor Series where the winning team got to be GM for a week? And that what led to Maven's heel turn?
Yes, whichever team won would each be in charge of Raw for the next 4 weeks. Yep.
And then Maven turned into a big dickhead.
Turned into. Played his hand. Where? Yeah. But
anyway, that was then. This is now. We have this weekend coming up with TakeOver and SummerSlam. Lots to talk about.
I decided to go to TakeOver instead of SummerSlam.
Yes, which I completely agree with your decision.
Yeah, that was, I believe, the right choice.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no, that was when Joe and Nakamura were feuding. Was last time they were in Toronto. Now I see it. Anyways, yeah. Well, I figured because my wife consented to go watch live wrestling with me, and I figured the 5 hour fucking wrestlethon that was SummerSlam was not going to be as appealing to her, and quite frankly, not as appealing to me. So I was just like, yeah, NXT, let's do this. Saturday night. It's the weekend of my birthday. My birthday's Monday, so.
Well, happy birthday.
Happy birthday to me. I'm going to see TakeOver. Let's do it.
That is awesome. That's a good way to celebrate your birthday.
Mm-hmm.
But should we discuss the card?
Let us discuss the card.
All right. We are going to go by Wikipedia's order from bottom to top.
As you do.
That's the scientific method that we have discovered and worked with. Apparently, the opening match will be Candice LeRae versus Io Shirai. What do you see going on here?
Oh my God, poor Candice LeRae is going to die. This is your, I'll be honest, I was really hoping that I would get to see, when I bought the tickets back, whenever, I think it was before the last TakeOver, I was hoping this was going to be like the blow off between Io Shirai and Shayna Baszler, and Io would win because I love Io. But, they kind of blew that off on regular NXT television, and Io is gone full heel at this point. She has turned heel all over Candice LeRae. She has lost her shit. This is, I guess, closer to what her character was in Japan, Murder Death Io Shirai.
Nice.
So, yeah, I mean, this I love, and I am one, I'm excited that there's like 2 ladies matches on this show. That's great. 2, I am very excited to see Candice LeRae live because she is fantastic and has been not fully utilized on NXT thus far, I would say. She spent a lot of time just kind of existing as Mrs. Gargano. Yeah. And I'm like, I fucking knew who Candice LeRae was before I knew who Johnny Gargano was. I mean, to me, Johnny is Mr. Candice LeRae. Yeah, I watched some of her indie matches and watched her Balls Plex guys. So Candice has been on my radar. The Balls Plex. Oh my God. Yeah, you have to look up Candice LeRae's indie stuff. Look up her the guerrilla warfare match between her and Joey Ryan and against the Young Bucks. It is a freaking bloodbath. Holy crap.
Damn.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
I've seen her take some pretty hardcore spots.
Yeah. Thank
you, Reddit.
She is tough as nails, but she is here to die, basically.
She's the sacrificial lamb.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I don't see this going any other way than Io winning.
Yeah, I gotta agree with you. Since the heel turn, she's gonna kick her fucking face in.
Yeah.
There's no other way to put it.
Yeah.
This will be the squash.
Yep. Yeah.
Next match, mentioned there were 2 women's matches. There is a women's championship match between Shayna Baszler and Mia Yim. I gotta admit, I think Shayna's gonna retain again. Yeah,
I think that's I'm not there on Mia Yim yet, like the way that the Sam Roberts was like shitting on Bianca Belair at whatever TakeOver what that was. I'm not quite there. I'm not like Sam Roberts down on Mia Yim, but I'm just kind of like, okay, I feel like this has to. Okay, the only way I see Mia Yim winning, and Mia Yim, on TV, they made a big deal like, oh, she took out the horsewomen, except she did that like 3 weeks ago, and the show is this weekend, so they probably got better. I could see Mia Yim, oh my God, this is going to be a long podcast. Mia Yim, maybe winning with like a roll-up or something like that, if she's going to be like a transitional champion to get the belt on Io Shirai. But I just feel like I just think Shayna's going to win still. I think Shayna retains. Like, I think many times on this podcast, I have picked Shayna to lose. Like, this is the one where Shayna's going to lose. This is the one where Shayna's going to lose. And I'm never right.
So you're finally agreeing with me on one of these.
This is where Shayna's going to lose. This is where she's going to get called up. I am so anti-fucking NXT call-up right now because they called up all these people to the main roster and they're just not doing anything with any of them, with like one exception. But the Viking Raiders went from their coolest match on the WrestleMania TakeOver card to just
the Viking experience.
Yeah, being the Viking experience, and just
they'll never live that down.
Yeah, they'll never live that down. They're just out there squashing people. Heavy Machinery is just not really doing anything. Lacey Evans had her program, but she's gone. EC3 just disappeared. Lars Sullivan.
He's chasing the 24/7 championship.
He was until recently disappeared. Aleister Black's been sitting in a room for most of the past 4 months.
He had a good match on Tuesday, though.
Yeah, he's finally gotten out a couple times, but just like they have so many people, they just don't have the time to use them all. So just in both the women's, we'll talk more about that. It feels like both the women's divisions or women's division, since the superstar shakeup wild card rule just means everyone is everywhere at all times.
Yeah,
it's just been a mess, and I guess Shayna could be a focal point to ground things, but I see her sticking around NXT for at least a little bit longer.
All right, next match is a triple threat for the NXT North American Championship that sees champion Velveteen Dream defend against Roderick Strong and Pete Dunne. Yeah,
so kind of one of the ongoing themes of NXT this year has been Adam Cole's early claim that the Undisputed Era would be all draped in gold in 2019. So he has the gold now. Spoiler if you haven't been watching. And everyone is wondering, is this the moment where the Undisputed Era just sweep through and take all the belts? Or what? What's going to happen? Man, So the next three matches we're talking about are all Undisputed Era matches. There's this match, there's the tag match, there's the championship match. I feel like, we've already picked two heels to win. Like, one of the good guys has to win on this card, right? At least, right?
Maybe. You never know.
You have to think. So, with that in mind, and also being a homer, I think Velveteen Dream manages to retain here. Just barely by the skin of his teeth. But I don't think Pete Dunne's going to win. Let's just throw that out there. This dude is out here hiding from Walter. He's hiding from the Austrian murder daddy that beat his ass, 4 months ago. And he just kind of dropped in out of orbit and is just like, oh yeah, Pete Dunne, bad. And Roderick Strong, he's been having good matches. He's been looking good lately, even if he is like white bread as far as a wrestling character goes. So it's just I could see maybe I think Dream wins.
You think Dream wins?
Maybe, I don't know. I really don't know.
I'm going the opposite way that you are. I think Undisputed Era is going to sweep the night. That kind of blows my predictions for the other two matches, but I think they're going to be draped in gold.
Yeah, I think they're going to kick one. I feel like they're going to kick one of them down the road a little bit, but they might not. This might just be this is the Undisputed Era night, and this is when it's going to happen. It is a triple threat, so Velveteen Dream doesn't have to lose.
Pete Dunne could eat the pin.
Yeah, if Johnny is reaching the end of his NXT run, it might be time for Dream to lose this title and start chasing Adam Cole.
People are wondering if Dream's going to get a call up after being in the 2K commercial.
Please no, just leave him alone. Please, you don't need him on TV that fucking Vince is rewriting 2 hours before they go to air.
Yeah, no shit.
Just leave everybody in NXT right now. Everybody there is fine. They might be trying to put them on Fox Sports 1 to compete with AEW, so you're going to need people on the show. So maybe just cool it for right now, right?
Stop with the call-ups.
Just cool it. Play with the toys you have first. Play with the toys you have. You don't need more. No. It's a no.
Speaking of toys being used by Raw, the Street Profits are defending their championships against the Undisputed Era of Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish. You already know my thoughts on this one. So what are your thoughts?
Undisputed Era team. Well, yeah, it's like Street Profits already have a foot on Raw, so maybe they just got their little run, and now they're just going to lose the titles so that they can be on Raw full time. Seems like
they got that token championship run that Enzo and Cass should have gotten.
Did they? Should they have gotten one? Boy, talk about a team that has aged poorly.
I don't know. Have you seen Cass lately?
I don't. It's the company he keeps more than him.
Well, he's living with DDP right now.
Oh, he's doing the yoga. Maybe he's getting his shit straightened out.
He is shredded, too. I saw a picture on Reddit, like, yesterday or the day before. He is ripped, and he is looking good.
Well, good for him. Enzo's a piece of shit. So, yeah, I just think here, I guess it seems like the Profits are already on their way, unless they're going to keep being the Greek chorus of Raw and just never actually wrestle.
I wouldn't mind that. I've enjoyed them in that role.
I wouldn't mind that either. I mean, I could also... Yeah, I could also see them in a scenario in which, like, some good guy... In a scenario in which you need to give the crowd something to cheer about, I could see them winning. But no, I just think... No, I think Undisputed Era is... No, Undisputed Era on this one for pretty sure. I'm feeling pretty strong about that one. Like, I can't see them losing, because, like... Street Profits, they kind of beat what are they? The Forgotten Sons.
No, yeah, them.
They're terrible. You know, they beat 1E and 2E, so it feels like, yeah, you gotta flip it back to the heels and freshen things up, since Street Profits already kind of ran through the division, question mark.
Whatever division is left right now.
Yeah, maybe they're just gonna do a slow, yeah. But how many, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. You could very well be right on Undisputed Era just winning across the board, though. But
well, we won't know until the NXT Championship match, which is Adam Cole defending against Johnny Gargano in a 2 out of 3 falls match for the championship. There's going to be unique stipulations. The first fall will be a street fight.
The first fall is a street fight.
Yeah. The second fall is a singles match.
Yes. A regular wrestling
unless
match.
they decide to flip those up. I'm just going off of, it says the first 2 falls will be a street fight and singles match.
Yeah.
So they might flip them and have the singles and then street.
Seems like that would make more sense, right?
Either way, the big MacGuffin is that the third fall will be decided by William Regal if there's a third fall. When is there not a third fall in these matches?
There is not a third fall when the Usos wrestled the Wyatt family.
That is the one rare exception.
And actually many recent times on Raw, when they apparently can't go to commercial mid-match anymore, you see a lot of, we're just going to forget all that.
Traditionally.
Anyways, so first of all, what do you think the third fall is going to be?
Oh, God.
I think I know.
You think you know? I would say either an I Quit or Last Man Standing.
I think ladder.
Ooh.
Yeah. Because I think, like, at that point, because, you know, if you're doing a street fight, that's not far removed from I Quit or ladder match. It's not removed from I Quit or Last Man Standing, you know? They're kind of a bit in the same vein. So I think you have to throw in a gimmick, like a tables match, which would suck. Don't do that. A cage, which feels like lately have not been that good. And also, I will say, a cage match would be totally telegraphed, because the cage would have to be floating up there, and everyone would know.
Then again, the way they do ladder matches, it seems they can't do a ladder match without having 40 ladders set up around the ring.
Well, you know, all you need is a couple.
The ones hidden under the ring.
Yeah, if they're hidden under the ring, you know, if you finish that second fall, and it's like it could happen very quickly. Like, they just lower the hook down, put the championship on it, whip some ladders out from under the ring. Or, you know, it could just be a traditional ladder match where they don't have 8 fucking ladders around and they're making ladder art to do the match, you know?
And then there's always a wooden one that's painted silver so that they could break it.
So that's my thought anyway, is that it's going to be a ladder match for the final fall.
Either way, who do you think's winning it?
The third fall has to be something that's going to pop the crowd too. Like, you don't want to be like, yeah, I don't know.
It's a submission match.
Okay, all right. It's just not. Hell in a Cell's floating around up there. It's an elimination chamber. It's an Inferno match. I think ladder. I feel ladder. Who is winning? Yeah, I think Adam Cole retains. It feels... Johnny could become a 2-time NXT champion. Adam Cole's been very mean to Johnny. Johnny hasn't really been on TV that much. I don't think he's wrestled a match since he lost to Adam Cole. But yeah, I think this is Adam Cole's time in NXT. I think it's the Undisputed Era's time, whether they win them all tonight or not. It feels like an inevitability. They're very big on factions holding all of the gold right now. So yeah, I think Adam Cole. I think Adam Cole wins.
I do appreciate you saying that they will win tonight, because this will be out on Saturday, and the matches are on Saturday.
There you go. Yeah.
That fits. Yeah, that's TakeOver.
And you think Adam Cole as well?
Yeah. Obviously, like I said, I think Undisputed Era is winning all the gold.
Yeah. I'm super looking forward to it. It should be awesome. Another wild card prediction for the night is, I think the night ends with a possible reappearance of a certain bald bastard, possibly.
You think so? I
did read that he may be cleared pretty soon. So that's like my holdout hope for the end of the night is if Tommaso Ciampa shows back up. You know, either way, really. Like, so it's either, you know, he's going after Adam Cole to take back his title that he never lost, or he's reigniting his feud with Johnny Gargano. Both of those sound great, you know?
Yeah, it would kind of put a damper on the whole when Johnny won the title and Gargano and Ciampa came out and they hugged and everything was all wonderful and good again. It would put a damper on that, but it would be nice to see that feud come back.
Yeah. Or, you know, it could be a thing where Ciampa comes back, he feuds with Cole, maybe he doesn't win it right away, and then rolls back in with Johnny, and they finish the fight. You know?
They go Halo style.
They got a 2 out of 3 falls match that they owe us. I'm an entitled fan. I want that match that I never got.
But yeah, it looks like a great takeover. I can't wait. Should be an awesome show.
I'm excited to see the undercard stuff live. You know.
Yeah, because they do the pre-show like an hour before the actual show, and then tape matches for the show the week.
Yep. Yeah. Next week's or the week after's NXT weekly show will be matches that were basically
filmed
the pre-show
before
matches. Yeah. So I'm hoping to see Keith Lee. I believe the finals of the breakout tournament will be on that show between the former ACH and the former Trevor Lee. So that should be good. There was another like tag match. Oh, I'm hoping for like Breezango versus somebody. Who was he wrestling recently? The Forgotten Sons. Yeah,
they're just so forgettable.
I just keep forgetting them. I'm like, oh my God, Wesley Blake, you're still here. You're still here, Wesley Blake. Oh wow.
Oh wow. Shit! But
and another tag team. It's like, you just think about what Buddy Murphy has done since then, and like going up to 205 Live and having a great run there, and now getting bullied by Roman Reigns for, witnessing OSHA violations. But
I love the way you put things. Yeah, that leads to SummerSlam also going down. Summerfest is here.
Hottest party of the summer.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything on pre-show matches, which is surprising.
This whole thing is, I don't know, it was kind of crazy to me, like just the television this week, and then thinking like, oh, SummerSlam is literally this weekend. It is literally this weekend, and then you look at the card. Like, I looked at the card 2 days ago, and it was just like 9 singles matches.
Yeah,
which is
it's 10 singles matches
now. It's 10, because they added the cruiserweight match, Tuesday night.
Which, if we're being honest, that's probably going to be the pre-show match.
Sure, of course. I mean, it feels, there's other things floating around that they could just throw in a tag title match. They could throw in a Shinsuke Nakamura U.S. title defense. That's how he has the Intercontinental title.
Like it matters. Well,
the same thing, basically. I mean, they didn't announce his match last time and he won it. So they could do that. It feels like there's going to be another, obviously there's something going on with Roman Reigns. Is he going to be calling out Daniel Bryan / Eric Rowan for his troubles this week?
I think if anything, it'll just be a segment and not a match.
Yeah.
But if they did force a match this quick, it would be a really terrible turnaround.
I guess, but that's also why it's so weird that SummerSlam is this weekend, and this is what they've been doing the last 2 weeks. Like, they're in the middle of a Roman Reigns story right now, and you feel like, oh, that would be coming ahead in a match at SummerSlam in 2 weeks. Then you're like, oh, that's this weekend, so I guess not.
I know, when SmackDown ended on the cliffhanger, I'm like, oh, I can't wait to see SmackDown next week before... Oh, never mind.
Yeah.
SummerSlam's this week.
But what we do have is it's a card of 10 singles matches, which is very unusual. There is no tag matches officially announced. There is no triple threats, fatal 4-ways, 6-man tags, nothing. No getting... get everybody on the show matches. It's just like, here is some singles matches, one-on-one to blow off some feuds, and that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what happens, but we'll start off with what we can only assume is the pre-show match, which is the Cruiserweight Championship, Drew Gulak versus Oney Lorcan. I'm pulling for Oney here. I want to see him win.
Yeah, I like Oney Lorcan, but I think Drew Gulak just won the title. It has been so long in coming for that guy that him just losing this early on seems like it's not going to happen. But I do like Oney Lorcan, and I think he's great, but I don't think he's winning it here.
I don't think so either, but I want him to, so I'm going with him.
Yeah, sure. That's There was plenty of that for the TakeOver picks as far as Dream goes. There will surely be some of those later on this card, I'm sure.
To wish what happens.
Yeah, to wish what happens into existence. But yeah, I think Drew wins.
Next up is the Legends matches, which we have Trish Stratus going against Charlotte Flair. What do you think's going on here?
Well, it is tough. I mean, I love Trish, and this is Trish in Toronto. So,
and her final match, she tweeted out that this is her final match.
Sure it is, Trish. Sure it is. I mean, it's Trish against Charlotte. I mean, Charlotte should just really truck her. But it's going to be a competitive match. It's Trish in Toronto, so hometown. Like, I don't see them giving Trish a hometown win unless it's just like, here's a roll up. It just feels like Charlotte should just win. I mean, Charlotte's the person that's on TV now. Mm-hmm. Not that that's going to have any impact on the next match, but yeah, I just think Charlotte wins. Maybe you get you have a good competitive match, and Charlotte gives Trish, some respect and a hand raise afterwards. So Trish gets a nice goodbye, goes out on her back, as it were.
Giggity.
Yeah, I know. Misogynistic? No, it's wrestling terms.
Yeah.
Fucking sickos. Stop it.
I agree. I think Charlotte wins this one easily. I don't see why they would have Trish win it, except for a cheap pop early in the show.
Yeah.
But
I mean, her coming out is going to be a cheap pop early in the show.
Yeah, I mean, we already have one legend guaranteed to win, which we'll discuss next. but I think Charlotte takes this one.
Yep.
As I said, the next match to discuss features another legend in Goldberg returning to beat the living shit out of Dolph Ziggler.
Oh my God. Yeah, so Goldberg basically here to make up for completely shitting the bed at the last Blood Money show. So, yeah, he had a terrible... I heard that he had a terrible match with The Undertaker that was completely embarrassing. So, yeah, he's basically, they booked this. Dolph has always been great at selling for guys and making dudes look good. So this match is going to be like...
Dolph Ziggler might explode on a spear.
Yeah, I have to feel like this match might be like under a minute long. This might really just be like a classic Goldberg spear, jackhammer. That's it.
Probably. I wouldn't be shocked.
Maybe a little bit more of that. Maybe he'll throw him around a little bit more just to flex. But God, it's so weird that like Goldberg is the guy they keep pulling out here in the late 20-teens. The fuck?
I don't get it, but I don't mind it.
It's weird. It's so weird because especially because like he wasn't their guy. Like he was a WCW guy.
Yeah.
But I guess he can still go to some extent, and he likes money, so he's willing to come out and
everybody
do this
likes
stuff.
Money, man.
Everybody loves money. Undertaker
everybody has a price to pay.
Money. Yeah, freaking $1 Million Man running this. Yeah, it's like, oh, how much money can I get from going to that place that we won't mention the name of on TV? Yes. Where do I sign, please? Yes, I'll cancel all these independent signing dates. Goodbye. Yeah, that was that.
Those were the Legends matches. Moving on, we have the United States Championship match. AJ Styles going against Ricochet, the former champion. I think this is going to be AJ retaining, and there's going to be shenanigans with the club, and maybe we'll see some kind of team come out and defend Ricochet and set something up for Raw. Yeah,
I think you're right. AJ is great. He's great when he's holding a title. And yeah, he just won it at the last show. So I think he retains. I think this is probably going to be the best match on the card. If they give them time and let them just go nuts, like it should be fantastic.
Oh yeah.
It says Ricochet's already had a U.S. title run, which is he's held it. And I love Ricochet. If I were going to be there live, he'd be like the guy. This was the one guy from NXT that they're using, by the way, that I mentioned about a half hour ago. This is the guy. Yeah, look at who's on this card, and look who's new from NXT. No, not Oney Lorcan. Ricochet. Oney Lorcan is on SummerSlam. Who would have guessed that Oney Lorcan would be on SummerSlam?
And Roman Reigns isn't.
Roman Reigns officially isn't, but like Aleister Black isn't. And when they call him Aleister Black, you'd be like, okay, which one of these guys is going to be on SummerSlam? Is it Aleister Black? Is it Heavy Machinery? Is it Oney Lorcan? Is it Lacey Evans? Only one of them's on SummerSlam. Which one is it? People would be like, they might guess Lacey Evans, but it's like, it's Aleister Black. Like, no, it's Oney Lorcan. That would be the last dude you would have guessed, because you would have been like, Heavy Machinery. They're probably in some like fatal 4-way tag match, of course. No, Oney Lorcan's here. And Ricochet, and this should be a great match. But yeah, I think AJ retains. And
do you think someone comes out to help Ricochet against the club, or no?
I don't know. They've been kind of doing a thing with the New Day, so maybe. Is there like a Night of Champions coming? No, Survivor Series is coming up. That's when they all fight each other. The one night a year when SmackDown and Raw.
Oh, yeah, the one time a year.
The one time.
Quick aside, Eternal Rage not hosting right now, but dropping 200 biddies in chat while listening to us.
Dropping bits!
So thank you. Thank you, Cole. That was awesome. Moving on.
All of these being singles matches, I hope there's a minimum amount of bullshit, interference, shenanigans, DQs, dumb finishes, but this is the WWE.
Yeah. So you never know.
Oh, yeah.
Next match is Finn Balor against The Fiend, Bray Wyatt. We are finally seeing the return of Bray Wyatt, and I think this is going to be a slaughter. Yeah.
TV storyline build-up aside, the word on the street is Finn Balor's about to take some time off anyways. But this is, the re-debut of Bray Wyatt in his new character that they've been building up for months. Like, since the night after WrestleMania, I believe, was the first Vulture vignette.
The Firefly Funhouse.
Yeah, they did all the, 2 months of Firefly Funhouse. Finally started having pop back up on TV. He's got his cool-looking Tom Savini mask. This is his first match back, and if you're gonna have him lose, why the fuck did you even bother? Like, he's been off TV for like a year. Yeah, I don't think he's wrestled in like a year.
It's been a while.
It's been a long time, because they took him off to... Obviously, he's been hitting the weights a little bit. He's looking a little svelte.
Yeah, he looks good, man.
And, yeah, I feel like he hasn't really been around since him and Matt Hardy broke up, which was like last SummerSlam, something like that. He's been not around. So, yeah, like, if you're not going to take Bray Wyatt seriously now, like, what are you doing with him? What are you doing?
Just why?
Yeah, no, this is the time to take him seriously and have him kick ass. And, they got him using the mandible claw, since if you're not going to have Attitude Era wrestlers, you need to at least have Attitude Era moves with everybody. So, yeah, I think Bray by a mile.
Yeah, that's an easy pick.
Yeah, it would be cool to see a Demon versus Fiend match, but I feel like that's not what they're doing.
I think that'll be further down the line after Finn returns.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't think they would sacrifice the Demon out of nowhere with just like zero notice this weekend.
Yeah, remember last year when they did the Demon out of nowhere, and you called it actually that the Demon was going to come out and truck Baron Corbin?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen, but
nope.
You never know. You never know with this new WWE.
Oh, God.
But speaking of wrestlers using Attitude Era moves, Kevin Owens, the stunner using Kevin Owens, is going against Shane McMahon. And if Kevin Owens loses, he will be forced to quit the WWE. Where do you see this one going?
I want Shane to lose so bad. It seemed like he beat like The Miz twice. He beat Roman Reigns. Drew McIntyre, his goon, is not on this card. I guess Elias is also his goon, also not on this card. Like, please, can this be the end of Shane McMahon? Like, I just want Kevin Owens to win so bad. But I could also see them do the thing where Kevin Owens, loses, another person loses to Shane McMahon, and he has to quit, and I'm throwing up air quotes here.
Yeah.
And, he's jumping the rail at shows and throwing out stunners. They'll
film something at a house show and put it on the internet.
Yeah, he's out there doing run-ins and being an asshole until they're like, oh, damn it, Kevin Owens, you need to get back in this ring, and it's going to be hell in a cell. I could see that happening, but in the interest of what I want, the most of all, it is Shane McMahon gone off of TV. So please, Kevin Owens, just win. Please. Please.
I have Kevin Owens listed as well. I think this is going to be the end of Shane's reign of terror.
Oh, it's exhausting.
Oh, I hope so. I don't want Shane gone completely. Like, I think he's still a good character, but they need to significantly cut down on how much they feature him.
Yeah, well, and he shouldn't be beating wrestlers. He's a 50-year-old sweaty baby who throws off little brother punches and strip mall jujitsu. He did the free 2-week trial that came with a gi that disintegrates, and learned 2 moves, and just no, stop.
Oh, did you see him tip over that announce table on Tuesday?
I did not.
No, you didn't watch that?
No, good for him though. Did he jujitsu it? No. Did he little brother punch it? No. Does his freaking coast to coast where he makes it like coast to Wyoming, but he stretches out his legs, so the person has to lean forward out of California to get into it. So, come on, man.
Such a good way to put it. Coast to Wyoming.
Yeah. Basically.
Holy shit. Next match on the card is for the WWE Championship. Champion Kofi Kingston defending against Randy Orton. I think they have to keep it on Kofi.
Oh my God. The returning from vacation Randy Orton where he's been out taking RKOs from his wife. But yeah, especially with like the build to this, with it being like, you know, Randy Orton has haunted Kofi Kingston for the better part of a decade.
Playing that stupid clip over and over.
Yeah, if you don't have Kofi win, then it's almost, again, like the equivalent of like Triple H beating Booker T at that WrestleMania 19 or whatever it was. Then it's like, okay, well, they were right about you. Like, no, Kofi needs to win. Kofi retain here. Kofi's had a great run with the title. He's really stepped up to the plate. You know, he was not a transitional champ, and I think he should continue to carry it.
That was an easy decision.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think this is probably going to be one of the best matches on the card. It's got a good build. It has that history. It's just, man, I hope Kofi needs to win. But there's also like that, you know, that fear that, oh, they're going on to, you know, Fox. They want to have Randy Orton as champion going on to Fox, you know?
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe they do their non-automatic rematch at next month's pay-per-view and have him win there.
I don't know. Next championship match, though, is the SmackDown Women's Championship match that sees Bayley defending against Ember Moon. What do you see happening here?
This is a weird one, because it started out as Bayley's like, Ember Moon, I'm going to defend against you at SummerSlam because you're really good and you haven't got an opportunity, is what it felt like. And then it's like Ember went out there and like lost to Alexa Bliss, and it was like, oh, are they going to make this a three-way match? Because that's how you build to every show. And instead of just like, okay, we're going to feature Ember Moon and have her just, you know, win with her awesome move, they haven't. So it's been kind of a weird build. How long Bayley won Money in the Bank? That's right, she cashed it in. I could see a title change here, but I just don't feel like they've built to it at all. But I could see it.
This kind of spoils my thoughts for the rest of the card, but I think one champion has to lose tonight, and I think it's going to be Bayley.
That was exactly what my thinking was just now. I was just looking over the card at like the champions, and I'm like, you know what? Probably one of them's got a flip, and they probably don't care enough about this belt. They're probably just like, whatever, just do it. Who cares?
Yeah,
we don't.
Put it on Ember.
Put it on Ember, and then we'll forget about her.
Go into Fox with Ember and Kofi as the champions.
Then Charlotte can beat Ember tomorrow night on Raw.
Oh Jesus!
You only say it like
they would have a
like
SmackDown championship change hands on Raw. They would do that.
Yeah. That was only half a joke, really.
Oh, man. The Raw Women's Championship, Becky Lynch, the champion, defending against Natalya in a submission match. I don't see Becky tapping Natalya. I just don't see it happening.
No. Natalya sucks. She is awful at, like, cutting promos and wrestling and acting like a human being. So, I mean, like, it's like she was, you know, like one of the standout wrestlers, you know, pre-women's revolution, again, air quotes, but in like your your Bella era, it was like, okay, yeah, does some wrestling moves and she has the sharpshooter, like, but now it's just like, I don't know, she talks like a robot pretending to be human, and I don't think she's that great a wrestler. And I'm like, yeah, it's Canada, but I just think Becky's gonna win. I just don't think Natty is that good of a threat. I did see the speculation that it's like, oh, well, Natalya and Ronda Rousey, fresh off her appearance in that Tables trailer. Have you seen that?
No.
Oh my God. Okay. I'm gonna make sure this is queued up so I can just send it to you when we're done with this.
What is it?
Yeah, that she. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I'll send you the link, and then
We'll discuss this on the next episode with our results.
I'm gonna hook you up. So, yeah. Anyways, yeah, with my live report of the show. But yeah, I just think Becky's gonna win, and maybe you see Ronda Rousey show up.
You think Ronda's coming back already?
I don't know if she's coming back, but I think she might show up.
That'd be interesting.
Not necessarily that doesn't mean she's going to be on TV regularly again, but I could see, it's the big show. It's the
biggest
show.
Party of the summer. That's Natalia. She turns as much as the Big Show does.
Yeah, I could see her. Oh my God. You're right. I could see them just wanting the headlines like, oh, Ronda Rousey shows up at SummerSlam and, confronts Becky Lynch for the first time since WrestleMania. Got to have some big surprises on the card, right?
Yeah, that'll be the ESPN headline. Ronda Rousey returns.
Yeah.
I could see that happening. Either way, I think Becky's winning.
Yeah, I think Becky's winning. I mean, I guess if you want to pull that one out even further, it's like Ronda comes out and, knocks out Becky Lynch so she doesn't tap. And it's, a technical submission, and then Natalia wins that way. But that would be garbage, so please don't do that.
Why did you give them the idea?
Oh, no, I'm calling it, it's like a reverse jinx, so that when they're listening to this podcast the day before the show, they're like, shit, the SML guys figured us out. We got to change the finish. It's too obvious.
Of course, because they do listen. Hi, Vince.
Yeah. Hi.
Anyway, final match of the card is Brock Lesnar defending his Universal Championship against Seth Rollins. What do you think happens here?
I mean, I think it would be great if Seth won and Brock Lesnar wasn't champion, and we had actually had a champion on TV for extended amount of time, but I've been saying that for years.
Yep.
So, I mean, it just feels like the only circumstances under which Brock Lesnar can lose the title are if it's WrestleMania and or he's wrestling Roman Reigns. And seeing neither of those circumstances met, I believe Brock just has to retain.
Yeah, I have it written down, Brock Lesnar.
But as always, I will be pleased as punch to be wrong about this one.
Oh, yeah. Why would they put the belt back on Lesnar to have him lose this quickly to Seth?
Yeah. Yeah, what he cashed in at the end of the last show. Yeah, after that mixed tag. So it's only been about a month.
Yeah, it wouldn't make sense to have him drop it already.
Yeah, I mean, I think it would make wonderful sense. And yeah, I think he just wins. Unless there's shenanigans. Unless there's some kind of shenanigan. Maybe
Dean
Goldberg.
Ambrose returns.
Oh my God, that would be... He's wrestling in Japan this weekend, so many reasons why he wouldn't show up, but yeah,
no.
I think Brock is the pick.
Man, we're agreeing on a lot of picks this card.
Yeah, it seems straightforward. Which usually, I believe, last time we agreed on a bunch of picks, we were wrong.
Yeah, we fucked
all
up
over the
big
place.
time. I can't wait to see Natalia and Seth Rollins celebrating their new championship wins after Seth turns on Becky, and then Randy Orton comes out and RKOs everyone to show off his new belt.
We're just Dolph Ziggler with the upset win over Goldberg. He does a famouser to counter the spear. Ricochet joins the club. The club turns on AJ Styles. Finn Balor was the Fiend all along.
Jesus. Oh my God. Good card though. I'm looking forward to it. Should be a fun weekend.
I wonder if Shane McMahon would shenanigan his way out of that match and try and turn it into a handicap match to make sure Kevin Owens loses.
I wouldn't be shocked.
Yeah, just think of things. But yeah, that's the wrestling this weekend. I'm headed up to Toronto probably as this is going up on the internet. I will be on my way to Toronto, getting ready to go to the Scotiabank Center and watch some NXT.
Well, I hope you have a good time. But before you leave, there is some business that you have to take care of.
Yeah, we got to talk about a game.
Yeah, we have our first review of the night We're going to talk about TerrorHYTHM, developed by EvilCoGames and Forever Entertainment, published by Forever Entertainment, released July 25th for the Switch in Europe for €9.99. A US release is planned, but we don't have any details on that. TerrorHYTHM, the music-powered beat-em-up game. Follow the rhythm to music to defeat the security systems that keep any sound from the society. Tim, tell us about TerrorHYTHM on the Switch.
Oh, man. I didn't like this game at all, just to get out with it. So I wrote down these notes after the first time I played this game, and, I kept playing it over the course of the past few weeks, and I never went back and changed anything.
Wow.
Unfortunately. I don't know what is wrong with me or what is wrong with this game, but it just doesn't work for me on any level. As it's the idea is it's supposed to be a kind of a rhythm beat 'em up sort of deal. So you have to keep the beat. It is a rhythm game. You have your character in the center of the screen, and you have enemies coming at you from either side. And the idea is that you will attack them on the beat. You can attack to your left, to your right. There's a button you can hit to expand your area of attack, and there's another button you can hit that powers up your attack. And just from the word go, and this is possibly the biggest problem with the game for me, it's just I could not find the rhythm, or it. I enjoy rhythm games. I have rhythm. I am a person with rhythm. I don't think this is a problem with me. But even when they're doing the test, there's a test at the beginning to check out your input delay, and I'm sitting there. It's okay, push the button along with the music, and I'm okay. And there was a little number that was getting lower and lower. I'm does that mean I'm getting closer and closer? Is it syncing up with me? Am I syncing up with it? Am I doing I didn't? And I've had these kinds of sync tests, these lag tests in games before, and I just felt like I wasn't getting the correct feedback as to whether, and it wasn't it got to a point and it was okay, we're done. I was just kind of okay, well, let's move on. It seemed like it was taking too long. Did I have to keep going until the number hit 0? Or was that just measuring what my lag was after when the beat was? And it just wasn't very well explained, didn't make sense, but as it were, in playing the game, I was not getting into a good groove of the rhythm.
Doc Havoc in chat says you is too white to have rhythm.
That is racist and presumptive.
And true?
No, I have been. I sing. I play instruments. I have been quite skilled at other rhythm games in the past. It's just then once you get into the levels, and most of the music as far as I experienced in the game is all kind of electronic, bassy thumping stuff. But I never got into that groove where it was okay, I'm syncing with the music. I'm feeling how my button presses and my hits of the enemies sync up with the music. And it's a thing where enemies, there aren't things constantly approaching you on the beat, but you have to keep pressing buttons in order to maintain your streak. So it would be a thing where either, an enemy comes in and, I attack twice to my right, and then the next enemy's coming from the left, but he's not in range yet. So either I can sit here and I just idly tap buttons basically, even though there's nothing for me to do. But I was also, it's just so there's enemies coming from this side, enemies coming from this side, and there could be an enemy in range to my right and my left. So I go right, left, and back to right, but it wasn't a clean hit on the beat. It didn't feel and sometimes I'd feel I'm hitting good tempo here, all right, this is working, and it would just say streak broken. And I couldn't figure out am I hitting too soon? Am I hitting too late? What exactly is going on? The game wasn't giving me good feedback. There's some things on the screen that kind of pulsate, but it doesn't seem to have tools to really tell you and help correct you as to what you're doing wrong. So I just kept getting really frustrated with it. And
so you were getting frustrated, and we were getting biddies from Ford Racing, 100 biddies. Gotta give him a thank you.
Thank you.
So
for the biddies.
Many thanks, Ford Racing. Anyway, as you were saying.
As I was saying, yeah, so it's like I was never feeling in tune with the beat. It just doesn't seem like it was like it didn't like. And you have different enemies, so I should say, like, there are weapons you will pick up automatically because enemies drop them, which are more effective against, they'll cut, like, straight through, like, 2 or 3 enemies at a time, some of them. There's, like, some enemies that, well, one of the early ones you encounter that's kind of a variation of the ones is, like, when you strike at them to the right, they will jump to your left, and then you have to hit them to the left, but they don't really stand out enough from the other enemies, so I would just be kind of like swinging, and maybe that's on me for not being observant enough, but when I look back I was like, no, they look a lot like the other ones. So it's like, okay, I'm thinking I'm hitting this guy over here, but suddenly I'm getting hit in the back, and other guys are wandering in. I'm just like, and there's dudes with shields, and some that you can't use, like if they have a shield, you can't use your charged attack against them, but I think if they have a different kind of shield, you have to use the charged attack against them. I mean, just like the whole thing just like was not working for me at all. Like the visuals are, they're okay, but there's no, like I said, it didn't seem like there was an indicator as to what was going wrong. Like the music wasn't catchy. And yeah, the enemies aren't visually distinctive. And this, there was also like some straight up technical issues on the Switch. Story of my life the last month playing Bloodstained on there, but also in this game, there was just like stuttering and frame drops, especially on levels that seem to be at a bit of a faster BPM. They tell you the BPM of the level before you go in it. Like anything like 140 and up seemed to have it a bit more, but yeah, it was just like frames would drop and it would stutter a little bit, which is
stuttering in a rhythm game is
really bad. So, but that is something that I could see, being better optimized, like with a patch or something like that.
Yeah.
But and I know this game has been out on PC, but just like here, I'm just like, I don't like, it just feels like the whole thing as a rhythm game experience just doesn't come together in a fun, like playable way, or at least it didn't for me. It just like the rhythm just did not stick with me. It doesn't have the tools to help you like figure out what you're doing wrong. And the menus suck. I have to say the menus suck in this game because it's like you have to, the levels are all in a line, and you go through and you select the level. Well, you select the level and then you have to go down. You have to move your cursor down and to the right to actually start the level. You don't just press start on the level you select. You have to go down and press play. And then when you get through a level, it puts you back at the first level again on the menu. So you have to go through and select the level you're on. That's just bad. That's just bad UI design right there. I don't know what you're doing. So yeah, this game was just kind of a bummer all over the place for me, and really frustrating. As someone who loves both beat 'em ups and rhythm games, it ended up being a real letdown.
Damn, that's a bummer. I know I believe we covered it on the PC, and it seems the Switch version is lacking one of the biggest things that made the PC version really good, and that's being able to import your own music. I'm guessing the Switch doesn't have anything like that. I
did not see anything of that sort.
I wouldn't even know how they would get it to work that way, but...
Yeah, I mean, I guess you'd have to, those SD cards are kind of locked up, so you'd have to put it on there, and yeah. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I missed it. Maybe I didn't look closely enough. Please correct me if I'm wrong. But even then, it's just like the base game that's there. It's like Vib Ribbon is a game, where you could put in your own music soundtracks, but I don't know if which is cool, but it's not always the most fun thing. Like that's a really tough thing to do, to have a game read the music and then make entertaining rhythmic levels out of it. It's a challenge.
Well, for the asking price of €10, what do you say?
10. Yeah, I think you should. I think you need to pass on this one. If you're curious to check out the game, then yeah, maybe look up the PC version instead. I imagine it probably runs smoother.
What would you do to improve the game? Like, how would you improve it?
It needs feedback to show you what you're doing wrong with the rhythm, or like more indicate, like some kind of indicator on the screen, maybe a better explanation of the mechanics, but just like something, even in that like lag test, like something tell me what I'm doing wrong or right. Am I meeting your expectations, game? I don't know. Dad, why don't you love me?
Oh, man.
What? Hello? What?
Huh?
Well, I don't know what that was. I don't know where that came from.
I don't know either. Before you leave, there was actually a little bit of news I wanted to discuss with you. Did you hear that WWE is teaming up with Brawlhalla?
I did see that because Xavier Woods tweeted it. So I did see that news that there's going to be some WWE characters in Brawlhalla. Is Xavier Woods going to be in yet another game?
Yes, Xavier Woods, The Rock, Becky Lynch, and John Cena.
The freaking Rock. He was a wrestler? What?
Remember those days?
I know. It's just funny that they still trade on, it's funny that they can still trade on him and use his likeness when he is like the biggest movie star in the world.
I'm sure they love it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that is it for you, Tim. Thank you as always for coming on and chatting Wrastles with me. We will discuss our predictions and the results on the next episode when you come on to chat about another game. But have a safe trip. We're going to take a quick break on the show, listen to a song, and we'll be back with more show. Tim, do you have any final words?
No, I'm just excited for this weekend. I'm like watching the G1 Saturday morning, then going to Toronto, watching NXT, coming home, watching more G1, and then I think SummerSlam, and then the morning of my birthday, I believe, is the G1 finals. So It is a wrestle-filled weekend for me. And then I'll be on next week to talk about a game.
Welcome back, everyone. Thanks for sticking around. Another thanks to Tim for coming on and chatting Wrastles with me. Always fun chatting with him. Plenty more show to go. Cole, you're here. How are you doing?
I am here. I'm fine.
You missed Tim.
I did miss Tim. I hung out in chat, but I was lurking because I was working on review shit.
Yeah, you dropped biddies too, which I thought was fun.
I'm nice.
I
did a Twitch RPG survey like last month, and they finally fucking paid up for it.
Nice.
So I might as well spread them out.
I got to give a shout out to Avenged Immortal as well, who dropped a sub after last recording and before this recording. So thanks, Matt.
Very nice.
Always good getting sub. We're inching closer to that sub goal. We are at 9 points out of 15 right now.
Yeah.
We were at 9, then it went to 8, and then Matt brought us back to 9. If we could get to 15, we can have our wet pancakes emote that you could use all across Twitch.
Ooh, y'all know you want to get in on that.
I know.
We might have to start gifting some subs.
I'll just start gifting them myself. Like,
yeah.
as soon as I get my payout from Twitch, I'll be like, fuck it, I'm subbing everyone. There'll be people who came to episode 500 who are like, why did I just get a sub for this fucker's channel?
Because you can just randomly sub to somebody in the community. They don't even got to be in chat that day.
Oh, I know.
And you just hit the community button, and then they get a notification that they got subbed to us, the poor bastards. We hit 1,000 followers. When did that happen? Was that yesterday?
It happened over the past week. In between last episode and this episode. It just happened during the week, so... That's cool. 1,000 followers on Twitch. That's pretty awesome. 1,000 followers, 9 subscribers.
We're almost big time now.
Oh man, that is
that's how you get famous, and like now Squarespace is gonna want to sponsor us.
Oh yeah. I'll take a sponsorship. I don't care who. I tried getting a Fleshlight sponsorship on the show long ago.
Oh Lord, do you ever see like literally every video on YouTube is sponsored by either Squarespace or Skillshare?
No.
I'm telling you, my brain comes up with segues. Skillshare especially, because Skillshare is really popular on artist YouTube. And like every fucking video. This video is sponsored by Skillshare. And I'm sitting there like, my brain just randomly starts replaying Skillshare sponsorship segues.
Oh my God.
While I'm trying to sleep. It's awful.
That's beautiful.
Absolutely awful.
Maybe one day we'll get our sponsorship. I'll hit up Squarespace and be like, hey, I hear you sponsor everybody.
Yeah, literally fucking everybody. And Skillshare too. But you have to have some kind of skill with Skillshare. And
oh, no, we don't have any skill, so we can't go.
I guess, well, I have a skill. I just don't show it on this podcast because you can't draw on a fucking podcast.
Hey, you could draw the artwork for every episode if you wanted.
I could.
But that would require work.
If I wanted, is the key thing. Like, how many episodes can I draw dicks for?
All of them.
Fuck yeah.
All of them. Yeah.
Don't challenge me. You would get taken down from YouTube, though.
I have a drawing of dicks on, I think, 2 early episodes. One is a snow penis of someone who just drew a happy smiling dick in the snow. And then another one was because the editor of the one site that we were on at the time, he was really pissed about the dick in the snow, and I was at odds with him at the time. So I did another one where it was like a SimCity layout as a dick. So
fantastic.
Yeah. But now we have like people on the show, and we have games that we have to represent, so I can't just have dicks on everything.
No Time says you need a web developer. I fucking do. Like, what little bit of spare time I have, I bought a domain name for my art shit that nobody buys. I don't know why, but I got it on sale, and I was like, well, I'm turned down a sale. I'm not stupid. And then, like, I've discovered that creating websites has changed a lot since the last time I did it 8 years ago.
Yeah, I don't know shit about web development. I don't know shit about HTML. I can barely work my way around a WordPress
I've also discovered that I am disgustingly lazy and just don't want to do it. But I'm also poor, so, like, I don't want to pay for a good theme. And I'm like, ugh. I don't like any of these free themes, or they install and they look like garbage. And then I'm like, well, I don't want to fuck with it. I'm fed up with it.
Design your own theme.
I should have. Well, that's just it. That's the problem, because I haven't developed a website in almost a decade, and I've never used the platform that I'm currently trying to use. I don't know why I was stupid and thought I'd try something new. But the platform, I usually use Drupal as a content management system, but it's a little overpowered just to build an artist portfolio site and a shop. And I was like, I don't need to do all that. I just need the shop and like 2 pages to showcase my dicks. And so now, like, that's the other reason why I'm like, I don't want to pay $180 for a theme for a website I paid $20 for a year for.
Yeah.
It's a little overkill.
Yeah, that makes sense. I would just use one of the free ones and just deal with it.
Oh, I might have to, just to put up with it for a little while and like quit being a nitpicky bitch.
Yeah.
I'm so nitpicky because I want it to like match all the branding colors that I use in my shipping products and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't have the motivation to make it up. I've literally been like, I load it up and I just stare at it. I'm like, I don't know if I fucking want to do this today. And then I don't ever do anything. That's horrible.
Oh boy. What are we going to do with you?
I'm really getting my money's worth out of that hosting. Had it for a month, haven't done shit.
Hey, I pay for hosting, and pretty much the only thing that it hosts is the show anymore. And my email. No, I do all my show email through Gmail, so I don't even use that.
I'm genuinely surprised at how cheap hosting has gotten. Like, I remember paying $15, $20, $25 a month for hosting. And the hosting for my website was supposed to be $3 a month, but I had a honey coupon and that cut it down. So I bought the domain.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I bought the domain name and a year of hosting and a security certificate, and I paid $24.
Fuck me. That is insane.
It was a good deal.
I'm still paying like anywhere from, depending on how long I pay for, anywhere from $12.99 to like $17.99 a month for hosting still.
Yeah,
but on the bright side,
so much cheaper options out there.
On the bright side, I have unlimited space, unlimited storage, and unlimited bandwidth.
Yeah, same.
Well, then I need to change my hosting.
You're getting robbed.
Yeah, I am.
I will send you the link and the coupon code later.
I just don't know how to transfer that shit.
They have a fucking button, does it all for you. Yeah, not mad at all. I would just make sure you back up everything first.
Yeah, I don't know how to do that shit either. Like, I didn't set up my website. I had a friend do it for me, so
I could
I'll have to hit him up.
Yeah, I was going to say, I could probably talk you through the dummy part of, root beer is my jam, says I'll get you on here too. I looked that up, and just to make sure it was going to be $30 for the second year compared to like the $20 I paid for everything this year. So it's still not exuberant compared to what I used to pay for websites, but I'm not mad about it. I would like to think that if I get my head pulled out of my ass by year 2, it'll be okay that the price goes up because I'll be making money off of my shop. Whereas right now I sell my shit on Store Envy and I have to pay a commission fee. So they get 6% of all my sales.
Jeez.
Which is way better than when I was selling on Cafe Press, because Cafe Press used to take 90%.
That's fuked up.
That is very fucked up. I would do all the work and I made 10%. So if I sold like a sticker or something, I'd literally get 1 to 2 cents. That
is wrong.
Yeah. And that was after they, we round up for your benefit bullshit. Fuck.
Thanks, after taking 90%.
Yeah. Like before they started doing that where they only paid you out, if you made a sale and it was through like a third-party marketplace like Amazon, this is a gaming podcast and I'm just rambling, but
yeah, you are.
If you made a sale through like Amazon's marketplace or the Walmart marketplace, you would only get 5%.
Wow.
And that's fucking stupid. But they would charge you e-commerce fees. And so basically your extra 5% you normally would have got goes to paying for the marketing. So it's stacked up. I used to make anywhere between $400 and $700 a month on Cafe Press. Last month I got $27.
Jeez.
And I was like, fuck you.
Yeah, you gotta do it on your own.
Yeah. I do far better. My Store Envy store does okay. But again, Store Envy takes their commission, and if I finally break down, all said and done, even if I were to have to pay $100 for a year of hosting, it would still be below what my commissions come out as.
It would still be cheaper than what I'm paying for hosting.
Yeah, you're still getting fucked.
I am. Holy shit.
So on to video game news.
Yeah, on to video game. There was a lot of news this week. Microsoft announced that some more games are coming to Xbox Game Pass from In Exile Entertainment. August 13th, we'll see the release of the Bard's Tale trilogy, which is pretty awesome. Not only is it releasing on Xbox, but is releasing straight to Game Pass.
That's
which I love.
I love when things just go, ta-da, here, you get to play it.
Mm-hmm. I didn't even know the Bard's Tale trilogy was coming to Xbox, and they're like, fuck you, it's going to Game Pass. You're not just getting it, you're getting it free.
I'm telling you, Game Pass is worth its weight in gold.
Oh my god, it absolutely is, because on August 27th, the Bard's Tale 4 Director's Cut, launching straight to Game Pass.
Wow. Overachieving now.
Yeah, And then later on this year, Wasteland 30th Anniversary Edition will release straight to Game Pass. So In Exile...
because they bought that company.
Yeah.
I forgot.
So it is cool to see all their stuff coming to Game Pass.
Nice.
And Bard's Tale Trilogy and Wasteland 30th Anniversary Edition are both new announcements, so rock on for that. It's not all good news with Game Pass, though. There's a bunch of games that are leaving this month. Have you...
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
No, I haven't seen what's leaving, and I'm sitting here like, I need to get me like a notebook so I can write down what I need to play before it goes, and then forget that I wanted to play it and watch it leave and then be fucked.
Yeah, there's a lot of games leaving. They're either already gone or they'll be gone by the 14th.
Fuck.
On the Xbox 360, it's Joe Danger 2, Monday Night Combat, N+, Splunky, Toy Soldiers, and Toy Soldiers Cold War. And then on Xbox One is Castle Storm and Graveyard Keeper.
I did know that Graveyard Keeper was leaving, and I'm a little bummed about that.
Yeah. But overall, it's mainly 360 games, so I'm not too mad, especially when you compare what we're getting to what we're losing.
Yeah, it's a fair trade. I'm okay with it.
I will take the Bard's Tale Trilogy and give up Joe Danger and Toy Soldiers. Thank you.
Wasn't one of them you mentioned had been games with gold at one point too?
No, I don't remember.
I don't either.
I can't keep track of all that shit.
Next.
Some release date news. October 4th is going to see the release of Ghostbusters, the video game remastered. So that is confirmed to be coming for Xbox, Switch, PC, and PS4. And then October 8th is going to be a big day for indies as Trine 4, along with the Trine Ultimate Collection and Indivisible, are both releasing on that date.
I am not familiar with these games, but you make it sound like I should be.
You should be. Trine is awesome. Trine 2 was on 360. Trine 3, unfortunately, was only released on PS4, but it will be part of the Ultimate Collection, which is going to have 1 through 4 for $50. Can't be mad at that.
What kind of game is Trine?
Kind of like an action puzzler.
Okay, interesting. Yeah. No Time said Spelunky, and that's true. Spelunky was games with gold. So I'm not worried about that one being gone, but...
Thanks, No Time.
Yep.
Doing
You're
our
good
work for us. Someone has access to Google while listening to the show. Another game going away, DuckTales Remastered, was delisted this week. It was delisted on August 8th. So if you're hearing this, it's pretty much too late for you to get the game. Yeah. Yeah.
I wanted to pick it up, but David doesn't get paid till tomorrow, till the 9th. So I was like, well, rip.
The good news is there's still a physical edition that you could get.
Yeah, but apparently the physical edition and the digital edition had separate achievement lists.
They do.
Yeah. And
yeah,
so I was
both.
like, I could have doubled up on that bitch, but nope. I fucked up.
Yeah. Oh, well.
I done goofed.
It's been confirmed that Visual Concepts are the developers of WWE 2K20, meaning that Yuke's is no longer working on the game. This marks the first time in 20 years that Yuke's is not working on a WWE game.
What does that mean for a WWE game? Because I don't play them, so I'm not familiar.
Hopefully it means they're going to change things up. It's kind of been the same engine for 20 years now, and it's gotten old and boring. And, well, not the same engine, but overall
but very samey.
Yeah. It's been the same style for years now. So hopefully Visual Concepts brings something new and something fresh to the game. They've been co-developing the game for the past year or two. So they kind of just like stepped in and took over, and now Yuke's is off on their own, and who knows what they're going to do next. Maybe they'll do a game for AEW that's going to be launching later this year. I don't know. Guess we'll see.
Yes, Wrestles. Next. Sorry, I just don't have any good input for wrestling.
Well, then let's talk about something you will have good input on. Rocket League is removing paid randomized crates starting later this year. Cole, tell us about it.
This is a thing, and there's I don't know, I have so many questions. I mean, they did a fair job of like explaining, you're not going to lose any of your items or anything like that. But the crates are a 2-part system. And I understand why people want them gone. I want them fucking gone. Because you get the crates as a level up reward after games. If you get enough XP to hit a new level, you get a crate. They're randomized. You can get there's literally shit tons of them. And then you have to buy a key, or you can earn a decryptor,
which takes forever.
Well, with the new rocket passes, they give out a decryptor every 10 levels.
Yeah, but don't you have to buy the rocket pass?
If you buy the rocket pass, you get a key every 10 levels. So the trick is, if you use a key to open a crate, then the items are yours. Whatever you get out of it, whether you like it or not, you can trade it in, you can trade it with your friends. You have options. If you open a box with a decryptor, or as part of a mystery egg, like during an event, then you're stuck with whatever you get. You can't trade it. You're stuck with it. You can't level it up. It just exists, and it takes up space. Especially when they swapped over to using the mystery egg system, it takes a lot more to get the items that you can actually trade in. So like with a mystery egg, as long as you have 5, but it's from the same box or the same type of egg, you can trade it up, but you can't trade it to friends. But again, you don't have enough time generally to get enough items of the same variety. And then even with the last couple of events, they've capped it down to where you only get 5 eggs total for the whole event. So you're not going to get 5 rares. Yeah. You're going to end up with, rare, uncommon, or whatever. And then you're stuck with them. You can't do anything with them. So I'm okay, like, as far as that kind of stuff, seeing decryptors gone. And obviously, if crates go, decryptors go, because there's nothing to use them on. What worries me is that you also use the keys to buy the rocket pass. If you have 10 keys, no matter how you earn them, you can buy the rocket pass. So let's say you don't have any keys, but you want a rocket pass, and you pay $10. You get your 10 keys. You buy the rocket pass. You level that rocket pass up to 110. You've earned 10 keys back.
Yeah.
You can then turn around and use those 10 keys either to open a crate, or what most people do is to get the next rocket pass for free. That's what I do. That's what a good majority of people do. If they take away those crates and they take away the keys, then you're not left with any choice but to pay for the rocket pass.
No, I'm sure they'll find some way to make it able to earn rocket passes for free. I know Dauntless does the same thing, where the currency that you could use to buy the rocket pass, you can earn, or not the rocket pass, but the hunt pass in Dauntless, you can earn the currency through the hunt pass. So I'm sure they'll find some way to make it so you could still earn the rocket pass for free just through playing. Yeah.
The other question is, what happens to all the crates? Like,
they all explode.
I hope not, because I've got about 3,000.
Jesus.
That's not an exaggeration. And that's kind of the thing, like, okay, all of those crates were rewards, and even though they say you're not going to lose anything, I've lost a reward, because when I use a decryptor or I use a mystery egg, it opens up one of those crates.
Yeah.
So at least even if I don't pay to open them, I have the potential to get something out of them. That's premium content. When those are gone, there went my rewards.
No, so I guess we'll find out what happens.
Yeah. I will say, though, I'm perfectly fine with them letting you choose to pay for, like, the gold explosions and stuff, because the lottery system in the crates is bullshit.
Yeah.
It's certifiable bullshit. There is a gold explosion that came out in the very first crate, and I have used decryptors for 2 years now.
Jesus.
Trying to get that one gold explosion. I've never paid, just through my pen. I've never paid for a key for it. I use my key for the rocket pass. But if they tell me, hey, you can give us $1 and you can have that goal explosion, bitch, shut up and take my money.
Yeah.
Finally have it.
What is the explosion?
It's dueling dragons. So when you get a goal, a pink dragon and a blue dragon come out and swirl against each other and then fly
that's
off.
cool.
Yeah, it's really awesome. It's very rare to see it. I like the dragons.
Well, maybe you should get in touch with Psionics and see what they're going to do.
I'm going to send them an email and say, what the fuck are you going to do about my 3,000 crates?
Do it. Find out. Go ahead. Send them an email. Find out. Here's your homework. Write it down.
I'm concerned.
That's not the only loot box news, though. Microsoft, Nintendo, and Sony have all joined forces and indicated to the ESA that games from now on must disclose the odds of loot box items, which I think is a good move because people are finally going to see how shitty the odds are for what is essentially gambling.
Yeah. I think it's necessary. I don't think it's gonna stop people in any way.
No.
And I think Rocket League came out with the stats for theirs about a year or so ago. They're garbage.
Mm-hmm. That's why I'm happy to see them go away.
Yeah, and so I think it's kind of a necessity, but I don't think it's really gonna slow anybody down as far as buying it, because they're still going to see it and they're going to go, well, 1 in a million odds is still 1.
Yeah.
The reality is it's like 0.7 in 2 billion, but it's fine. You know.
Yeah.
That's why it's ultra rare.
Yay. Oh, man. Last bit of news I have is, have you seen the whole kerfuffle with the Ooblets announcement?
Yes. Because I have been following Ooblets for a very long time.
Yeah. The developers of Ooblets came out and confirmed that they are going to be an Epic Store exclusive on PC, and it pissed a lot of people off, but for a different reason than normal. It's not just the Epic Store hate that they have. There's the issue that God, what? I just brain farted because someone got banned in chat for saying my cock's small.
Yeah, I did it. Because I saw him do that shit last time, too.
What the fuck was I saying? I just got distracted.
I don't give a fuck that he said to say his name was my cock's small. What I care about is he's repetitious, and I hate repetition, so fuck off.
Like you pulled the same thing last night, and I did it.
Yeah. It's not funny.
Seriously, what the fuck? Oh, Ooblets. They announced. Yes. God damn it.
Sorry.
They announced that they're going to be releasing on the Epic Store, but the way that they did it was really condescending. And like, I read their announcement and they said it was their quirky sense of humor, but a lot of people took it the wrong way. And I could see how they came across as just condescending. It's like, oh, well, you could worry about global warming instead of the Epic Game Store.
I have a little bit of a justification on their part for that, though. They were getting fucking death threats. And
the thing is that the announcement came before they got death threats.
Yeah, but they were already getting shit from where they joined Double Fine. And then Double Fine got bought out by Xbox and they got dropped by them. So then they were like, well, now we have to self-publish. And like people were already shitting on them and calling them sellouts and stuff for going with Double Fine as a publisher. So they were already catching a lot of hell. And I don't feel bad for the way that I don't feel sorry for the people that they were sarcastic with. And they got so much shit. Whether they were, motherfuck. Give me just a second.
Still ringing.
Hello? Yeah, hold on.
I hope the microphone is picking all this up for the recording. I'm going to leave all of this and just be an asshole. Did you just mute yourself in an attempt to unmute yourself?
Probably. I think I double clicked it or something. I don't know. I don't care. I'm mad, and they shouldn't be fucking calling this late. So, it's fucking Dumb and Dumber up the road.
But anyway, Ooblets.
But yeah, I don't know. They deserve to be condescending. People were assholes to them. And it was, even if you go, well, they shouldn't have been condescending, you still got to say, being condescending isn't justification for death and rape threats.
Oh, not at all. I will never defend what some people do. Like the people who overreact and send death threats and racist remarks and homophobic remarks. Fuck those people. They give gamers a bad name. Those people could rot in hell. Fuck them. It's all Mika of the other legit customers that were really annoyed and offended with not only their decision to go to Epic, but the way they did it.
I don't know that that's a problem though. Like from my experience in their community, I don't think that the actual people who were fans and looking forward to Ooblets, it's just always those weird, what's not necessarily, well, yeah, they're trolls. There's always the outliers who like find something that they can sink their teeth into and then just drag it for drama, and it's not even anything that they particularly care about. They just enjoy the shit show. Yeah. And Mika says pretty sure their game was kickstarted with the promise of Steam, but it was not. They never promised it on any one platform over another. There was no promise of keys being given out with Kickstarter. It was all for additional stuff. So like pens and shit like that. It was never ever promised to be on Steam exclusively or at all. So the bigger thing that I was concerned about was, and this happened when Double Fine stopped being their publisher. I just hope it still comes to Xbox.
Well, they said it is still coming to Xbox.
So that's the one I was most worried about. At this point, though, if they just threw their hands up in the air and said, fuck y'all, we're not going to release the game at all, and like refunded all the Kickstarter, I wouldn't blame them. Yeah. Could you? Like the way that people are behaving and treating them? Yeah. To keep persevering and carry on making the game knowing that people are just going to drag it through the mud.
Yeah. But I will say this, just because one side is more wrong doesn't make the other side being wrong okay. So both sides were dicks in this issue. It's just one side was more of a dick.
A lot of these screenshots of them being dicks, though, were falsified.
Do you have a source for that? Because I've seen a bunch on Reddit that looked pretty legit.
Yeah. I was on their Discord. I saw it happening.
All right.
So yeah, there are a lot that are edited and are not real.
All right.
I would say upwards of 95% of them are edited in some way.
I will take your word for it because I have not been as in depth with this game as you have, but
yeah, because I have been looking forward to this one for a while.
Yeah, I will say the whole situation soured me on the game.
I'm not. I'm
glad you enjoy it.
Perfectly. I am like, I see this shit every time there is some kind of drama. There's immediately thousands of troll accounts with like 2 followers who are just all, oh, I took this screenshot of that and I took this screenshot of that. It's like, yeah, okay, everybody knows that you can work Photoshop. Congratulations. Carry on. So.
Oh, man. But that's the news I have. Anything you want to talk about?
No. We talked about Rocket League. That was all I had.
All right. Well, I guess we will get Dark Mika in here and start the reviews. So let me see. Add to call. If I could get this to work. Dark Mika. Add. And let's see if she's there.
Hello.
Yep, there she is.
Hi.
Hi. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Alive. So, okay, I guess. I had tacos today, so I'm actually doing pretty good.
Nice.
I'm jealous.
I love Taco Bell. Like, so much. It's disturbing. Spent like $30 there yesterday. Ate it yesterday and today. Oh, I love Taco Bell.
That's a lot of money on tacos.
Yeah, I'm fat for a reason. But I did get a membership to a gym yesterday, and I'm starting on next Thursday, so I'm okay-ish, kinda.
Awesome. The next step is we got to get you a microphone.
Yep.
Yeah.
$35. That's how much mine costed.
You could get them for cheaper than that.
No, it costed because I'm a redneck.
English is English.
Anyway, should we get to the reviews?
Sure.
If we must.
Yes, we must. That's what the show is. What we have to do.
I thought it was about Rocket League. We always talk about that shit every week somehow.
Because you should be playing Rocket League with me. That's what I'm trying to say.
It's a sign.
Yeah.
It's a sign. Anyway, the first game to talk about tonight is called The Blackout Club, developed and published by Question, released July 30th on Xbox One and PS4 for $29.99. The Blackout Club is a first-person co-op horror game centered around a group of teenage friends investigating a monstrous secret beneath the skin of their small town. Which of you wants to take the lead on this?
Her.
Rude!
Hey, it was your game to review. I just wanted a copy too.
All right, Cole, tell us about the Blackout Club.
Oh, fuck. See, I didn't make any special notes beyond what I was going to complain about, and that was in my head because Mika was supposed to do this. So the Blackout Club puts players in the role of a group of teenagers whose sleepy little town has literally been taken over by sleepwalkers and things that are far more sinister than just the sleepwalkers.
Ooh.
It's too spooky.
Mm-hmm.
You can play a single player prologue, which explains how the game works with an interesting little tidbit of backstory. And it's also, you play as a character named Isabel in the prologue, who is voiced by Ashley Birch.
One of my crushes.
Yeah, Life is Strange fame. So that's a nice little throwaway there. The town that the Blackout Club takes place in, these neighborhoods, they look normal on the surface. Everything looks normal on the surface until you go out at night and the citizens are like walking around, literally sleepwalking around, to the point that the characters call them sleepers. In addition to the sleepers, there are the lucids who can actually see, whereas the sleepwalkers have their eyes closed and are blind to you. You'll need to use stealth and some puzzle solving skills to basically get underneath the neighborhood, where there's a series of tunnels that create a maze. Each night when you go out basically serves as your mission. You're given a random task. Sometimes it'll be something super mundane, like put some signposts up or just collect some evidence of something. Other times the missions can be more intense and you'll have to, what was the name of the screaming thing that we had to take? Do you remember?
It was a music box, and it was
it
fucking garbage.
It made noise the whole time that you were holding it. And because this game focuses so heavily on stealth, anything that makes noise is a fucking nightmare for you.
Yeah.
Because that just swarms the enemies at you. They can't see you unless they're lucids, but they can hear goddamn everything.
Oh yeah, there's one more type of enemy that you didn't mention, the stalker.
Well, the stalker is different than the shape too, though.
Oh,
because here's the thing.
Yeah, that too.
If you get caught by the sleepers or the lucids too many times, or you commit too many sins while you're going through the mission, and sins can be I thought you, man. It's been a rough night, clearly. The sins can be anything from kicking down a door to tackling a sleeper, getting caught too many times. If you do that shit, the shape comes after you. You can't see the shape unless you close your eyes. So you press Y to close your eyes, and everything gets like this red grainy look to it. And then you can see like the red outline, literally the shape of the shape, as it is coming and trying to hunt you down. You need to, if you're the target for the shape, first off, tell your friends to fuck off because they set you up.
You're welcome.
That's what happens. I would never commit a sin in a game to get caught.
Mm-hmm.
So it definitely had to be Mika that was doing that shit. Definitely.
I told you every time I was going to do something stupid. By literally stating, I'm going to do something stupid now.
I didn't warn you. Like, I would start into the match and just walk right out, and there would be a Lucid, and they'd grab me, and I was like, well, fuck that.
That's what would happen to me. I should know that I am awful at this game.
Very. Dear good God.
Most of the missions, Mika, you would be doing pretty much everything, and Cole and I would just be following and trying to do stuff. And, you know, Cole every now and then would go off on her own and actually accomplish things. And anytime I would go off on my own, there's a goddamn Lucid because Dark Mika's game is leveled higher than mine, and I didn't get any kind of learning curve to the game. I just got thrown into the deep end right away. So I'm dealing with Lucids and Stalkers right off the fucking bat.
We haven't come across the Stalker as far as I know.
Yeah,
in our games.
The interesting thing about the Stalker is that they can be in your game and you don't know. So the Stalker is another human player who is trying to sabotage your mission.
That's right. We didn't get there yet because I'm not level 5 yet because
right. Me and Aki played a few games. The thing is that you don't know they're there, but you can get, like, there will be clues. If you see a kid running around that isn't part of your team, you've got a Stalker.
Yeah, you don't see their outline when they're behind stuff, and you also don't see the character's name.
Right.
And that indicates that they're a Stalker. On top of that, if you haven't tried to play as a Stalker, they shouldn't be able to invade your game, supposedly. I have invaded as a Stalker, so they're able to get in my game, but I don't think if either of you hosted that they'd be able to get into your game, supposedly.
It is an interesting twist on the way to play to add in that fifth wild card element. But it can also be a bitch because as far as I'm aware, if you reach a point where stalkers can join your game, there is no way to stop it from happening either. So you're always left open for somebody to come sabotage you. And sometimes you just don't want to deal with that shit. Sometimes you just want to go in and run mundane missions, and having it made extra difficult is kind of a bitch.
Yeah.
Well, the good thing about Stalkers, because I've read all this stuff since I've tried to play as one, they record your sins, which might make the shape come out a little earlier.
Yeah.
But beyond that, they can't do anything. They have no abilities. They can't pick up any items. They're kind of worthless otherwise. They can just record and send the shape after you a little faster. And if
I thought they were able to reset the traps. Are they not?
I don't know. I never actually tried that while I was the Stalker. I've only played the Stalker 3 times in one game, and it's not easy. It sucks.
Because there are traps that you can that are set out in certain levels. They're just kind of random. They may be there, they may not. But you can creep up to them and disable them. And I was under the impression that the Stalkers could reset them, and you could get fucked thinking you had disabled a trap.
They might, but the enemies can also do that.
Can they?
Yep, they'll pick the item. It doesn't usually happen for the shock traps, but they often pick up and then re-drop the other one, whatever the fuck it's called, the terrible one that I hate.
That one that makes all the noise?
Yeah, that you had to throw a foam grenade at to disable. Yeah, that thing. They can pick them up and drop them. I hate that.
Damn.
Yeah, I found that out earlier today when one of the enemies dropped one when I was right behind the enemy. Oh, it was not good. So not good. I was pissed. I failed that mission thanks to that, actually.
Nice.
Fucking bullshit.
So
how did it go for you getting the 5 wins?
I had to do it solo. When either of you are in the game, it wouldn't count it. But I did all 5 of them right in a row, no trouble.
Which is weird because it popped for us.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think you fuckers stole it.
You're welcome. So it's obvious the game is a lot of fun, but we have to point out there are some issues with this game.
Yeah.
The most notable and one that they are working on, they're trying to figure it out, is there are a lot of connectivity issues with this game.
So much.
Yeah, my connectivity issues went beyond just connectivity too. Whenever I would join a lobby before a mission had started, you're in the train car hub area. If I had joined in at that point, and then we started the mission from there, I would crash to the dashboard every single time.
Yeah, I haven't run into that. That's unique to you, so I'm not sure what the story is on that one.
And I could join after the mission started, and I could play it fine, and I would have not a single issue on. No lag, no bad connections to the host. Mika kept complaining that her connection is shit, but I didn't have a single issue until we tried to start the next mission, and then I would crash to the dashboard and have to start all over again.
Yeah.
And that was not a specific to just playing with Mika's type of thing. Even when I played alone, it would do that. And then I would have to, like, 1 out of every 3 times, I wouldn't be able to start. Playing with a group, it happened every single time. There was like 1 out of maybe 27 games we played where it just didn't kick me. But now playing by myself, it was not as often, but it did happen still.
I found another issue with the game. Lots of times when I pick, you can find items in chests in the game. Foam grenades, flash grenades, bandages, crap like that, just to help you out. Every time I'd open one and pick up an item, about half the time, the game would suddenly stutter really badly for 2 or 3 seconds, or it would just freeze for a few seconds completely.
And
I didn't have that one. No, that one I didn't have.
Yay, okay. We all have unique problems.
And I think, though, that might be an issue of where we're all playing on different types of consoles.
True.
Because, Mika, are you on an S or just a fat Xbox? So
I'm on an S.
You're on an S. I'm on an S, but I'm using a solid-state drive. And Joe, you're on an X. So we all have different parameters for what could be causing our fuckery.
Yeah. But there is some general fuckery with the game that needs to be worked out.
Yeah.
That said, my other concern with the game is the price tag. I wonder if $30 is priced a bit high. It does seem like there's a lot of content there, and as long as this game has a solid, decent community, I could see it being worth the money. I just worry that it might be priced too high to get the casual audience involved now.
Go ahead. Nope. You done did it. Go ahead.
Okay. I don't know if there's a lot of content to it. Like, there's lots of randomized missions, but there's only 3 areas that you can go to. 2 of them that you unlock, one's unlocked at the beginning. But when you unlock them, they're all generally connected to each other. Like, once you unlock the second area, your starting point is in one of those 2 areas, but it seems like both those areas are completely unlocked on the map from that point onwards. So you're just unlocking a new area to explore in the game, and it's not very large area that you're getting added to it. Like, I think the second area is like 4 houses, and that's it. The first area was like 8 houses, I think, 6 or 8, something like that. And the next area is not only going to have a handful more houses, but that's really all there is. You can upgrade some special equipment that you can choose for your character, but that's pretty much all there is to it. I wouldn't say it actually has that much content. It's just randomized, so it has lots of replayability. And it is fun when you're in a group. Solo,
that's what I was leaning towards, is that the randomized elements and the randomized missions give it the feeling of a lot of content, at least.
Yeah, it does feel like there's a lot. I also worry about the price point because it'd be great if there's a large community, it's going to be a pretty good game. But since it's also a first game, I don't know how readily a community is going to pull in it because, I mean, there's lots of multiplayer games that get created and then just kind of die because people just don't play them because they don't know what it is. And, you know, there's stuff like Red Dead Redemption 2 and all that other crap out there that has everyone's attention. So I always worry when it's pretty much a multiplayer focused game because you just don't know if the community is actually going to ever come around.
Yeah. What about you, Cole?
I think that the randomization definitely helps as far as replay goes. The map is fairly large. There are extra areas that do get added. And the more you explore, the bigger the maze underground becomes. But the randomness isn't enough to cover up that there's only a few different types of gameplay loops available. And so a lot of it becomes grab an item, take it here, grab an item, take it there, grab an item, take it here. And they kind of feel, don't get caught. It feels a little like glorified fetch questing after a while. And it can get a little monotonous if you're playing for long stretches. I think the way we were playing it with just a couple hours every day, every other day was going far better than if somebody were going to like sit down and do an 8-hour run.
Oh yeah, that drive me nuts.
If you try to do that, you're going to be bored to tears. But as long as you pick it up, play a couple missions, and take a break from it, then you're going to have more fun with it. And I think you're going to get that $30 price tag out of it.
If you have a group of friends to play with.
If
you're doing it solo, it sucks.
That's the other thing. Can you convince other people to drop that $30 for, to play it with you? That's definitely my biggest issue because when we were playing, I was like, oh, I wish you could get Studa in here. And I was like, man, but asking him to throw down $30 is kind of a big price point because I know I'm enjoying it, but we only play it in spurts and it may not, stealth games are just not everybody's cup of tea.
Yeah.
And it's one thing to say, hey, come play a horror game with me. It's another where it's like, come play a horror game where we have to creep around and move really slow and you can't run and you got to turn your flashlight off all the fucking time. It's a little harder to sell at that point. So you really need to go into it with a group that you know are going to enjoy it.
Like me.
Yeah.
Well, I need final verdicts. $30 on this, Cole. What do you say?
I'm gonna go for a really recommended try it. I think if you play it under the right circumstances, you're gonna have fun and you're gonna enjoy it, and there's enough there to keep you engaged for a couple of hours at a time. But don't think that you're gonna go into this solo binge it and be like, oh yeah, this is the best game ever, because you're gonna wear out too quickly.
Yeah, and it takes a long time to level up.
It's not meant for you to play it that way.
No. Mika, what do you think?
I think if it gets the patches that fix the connectivity issue, I think it's worth getting. But I'd say wait until then, at the very least, because connectivity is not very good right now, and that's a big part of this game. It's a multiplayer game. It needs to connect right, and it's not.
It seems like the issue is with private games, and public games seem to work a lot better when you're able to get public games, I guess. But yeah, I'm going to have to agree with the two of you. Give it a try. It's a lot of fun. I worry about that price point, and the bugs and connectivity issues need to be ironed out, but I enjoyed it.
Yeah, once they get the patches in, it'll be a great game, I think, as long as the community comes up.
Yeah. All right, well, since you're here, we're going to give you 2 more games to review. So the next game to talk about is called Eternal Edge Plus, developed by Righteous Weasel Games, published by Sadak LLC. It's releasing Q3 2019 on Steam for $14.99. Eternal Edge Plus is an action-adventure role-playing game following the young hero Cross on a quest to defeat the Skeleton King, Lord of the Dead. Mika, tell us about it.
Yeah, it's more of an action game than an RPG, honestly. Like, you level up, but there's no like stat management or anything. And this was a very short, very small, very early demo
preview
of
build,
the game.
Yeah. We should mention this was a preview build. I should have mentioned that earlier.
Yeah. The game, you play as a guy named Cross, and your wife is, for some reason, in some sort of coma, and you have to go destroy some shit to make her wake up. That's all the story it had so far, and I don't think you're able to actually destroy any of the things that you're supposed to in this demo quite yet. And it's not, like... They also have on the Steam page that it's a pixel game, and I don't know why, because nothing about the game is pixely, so that drives me nuts. I'm like, there's nothing pixely about this. One of the cool things about this game is when you go out and you fight enemies, just like you do in all RPGs, you don't get experience after you beat them at all. None. You usually get money. Sometimes you get an item, which is great. Usually it's an equipment or a weapon. And it's pretty cool. Instead, you get your level ups, and they're actually called level ups. The characters call them level ups even. But you get them from in special chests that you just occasionally find on the map. And you also get them from completing quests. And they're like, oh, if you go do this quest for me, I'll give you a level up. It's like, okay, I'll go do it then. Fuck it. The leveling up, again, since there's no stat management, the level up really, all I've seen it do is give you more health, which is a shame. I like the stat management stuff because I'm weird. Attacks in the game are pretty basic. You have one-handed weapons and you have two-handed weapons. And shields, and that's all, at least so far, in it. I tended to prefer a one-handed weapon to shield because you die really, really easily in the game. Even when I maxed my character out as much as I could, getting all the level ups, I still died so damn easy. It was crazy. There's a few issues with the game in the demo currently. The environment textures don't match the character textures at all. Like,
in what way?
The characters are very cartoony looking, and the environment is kind of realistic. Obviously not completely realistic, but it looks much more realistic than the characters. The characters even the enemies are all really bright, colorful things, and everything else is colored normal. And it just feels really weird. I don't know if they're planning on keeping it that way or not, but it just looks like they were taken from two different games and just put into one, and it's very off-putting for me. Because it doesn't match, and that drives me nuts. The weapons are the items you get are kind of finicky to use. You get health potions and shield repair kits and bombs, and for some reason I could only equip one at a time, even though you have 3 slots you're supposed to be able to equip them to, and getting one to actually equip was really difficult and really annoying. So they need to work on that, sadly. And money, you can buy... oh, shit. What am I thinking?
Where's Cole? Money. She could laugh at you. It's not that easy, is it?
I was sitting here muted just listening, but...
yeah. I get scatterbrained. That's why I send stuff for you guys to read word for word. I'm not reading word for word.
Same.
You get money from enemies, but it's not very much. And you can spend it to get like bombs, shield repair kits, and health potions were all I could buy. But they cost so much, and you get so little. Like you might get 3 to 5, and a damn repair kit costs like 100, 200, something like that. And
it's like, geez.
It takes forever, and it's so easy. Just spend all your damn money.
So it needs a reworked economy for sure.
Yes. The map, currently you don't have access to the full map, but the map is fairly sizable. It took me a while to get around everywhere that it was open, and I don't even think, but maybe a quarter of it was open to me, maybe that much even. It may not have been that much. So the map's going to be big, but it's also a lot of empty space, which is a shame. You see vast areas of nothing, and then you can see enemies. It's like, oh, I need to go over there and kill these fuckers. It's just going to take me 5 minutes. So, and the items...
It's a big world, but it's kind of empty.
Very, very empty. It's sad. And along with how you level up, you can also level up weapons and armor and shields and all that fun shit. As I said, you get them from defeating enemies. When you get more than one, you can combine them, and it gives one of them some experience to level it up. In the current build, you can level everything up to level 3, but the drop rates for this stuff are really bad. I sat there and tried to farm one item from a group of enemies. There was like 8 of them there for over an hour. Jeez. And I got it to level 2, which required, I think, 5 of them, and it was going to need another 5 of them to level up to 3. I was like, it just takes forever to do.
Damn.
So I think the game, though, overall, I like the leveling up. I like the leveling up of the weapons, but there are some things that it needs to be worked on. But since this is such an early demo of the game, they have plenty of time to fix them.
Yeah.
So I think the game's worth keeping an eye on.
All right, sounds good. I'm eager to see more of that one myself. Fingers crossed we'll see a console release as well, because I'm kind of interested in checking this one out myself.
This could probably be ported to a console, honestly. It doesn't require mouse and keyboard. I used the controller the whole time, so...
Cool. So fingers crossed they hear this and they consider consoles, because I bring it to Xbox, guys. I'll play it on Xbox easily. But next game to talk about is called A Skeptic's Guide to Magic, developed by Pilgrim Adventures, published by Grab the Games. It's releasing August 16th on Steam for $4.99. Birmingham, England, 1993. A shocking ritual murder compels a world-weary forensic investigator to discover a hidden realm of witchcraft, gods, and demons. Follow clues and use magic to solve the case, with moral choices leading to multiple possible endings. Mika, tell us about this one.
Well, for anyone who plays Steam games, this is an RPG Maker game. That right there is going to tell you whether you're going to like this game or not, typically, because that has its own very unique visual style. And I'm not particularly big on those usually. They have to be fairly decent for me to enjoy them. So lots of people might be worried of that. You play, as you stated, a forensic investigator named Lester. He's like a 40, 50-year-old black dude. He's awesome. He goes in one day to take pictures of a crime scene, and his world is completely turned upside down, and he gets face fucked, more or less. God. Because a dead body just suddenly pops up and comes up to him and whispers sweet nothings into his ear, and he flips out, turns around, the body's still dead over in the corner. He's like, okay, there's something fucky's going on. Oh, God. And yeah, then he gets suspended, because obviously no one's going to believe that a dead body got up and spoke to him, because who the fuck's going to believe a psychopath like that? And because the boy is dead, he has 2 friends named Fee and Val, who figure out he's dead, and they want to know why he died and how he died, because they find out after his body's been moved and so on and so forth. And they figure out Lester was involved in the crime scene aspect. So they decide he's going to help them whether he wants to or not. They're just teenagers and they kidnap him.
Oh, God.
It's hilarious. And he eventually agrees to help him. After he frees himself and just walks out, and he's like, y'all are stupid. I got out, and, it's a lot easier to get help if you talk to people instead of kidnapping them. It's like, I love you, dude. You're great.
Oh, God.
So the entire game is just the three of you trying to figure out why he was killed, what he was trying to do, and who killed him. It's a pretty simple, straightforward game. I put about 10-ish hours into it because I had trouble finding some items and figuring out how to use a couple others because the game does not hold your hand the fuck at all. It expects you to figure shit out. It's very logical and lots of things make sense. It's just getting to the point where it's like, oh, this is the item you need. That makes sense. Because it's not something you readily think of. Like in one instance, it said, get a crown of bone. It was like, what the fuck am I supposed to get? Eventually I figured out, oh, you're supposed to take antlers off of this deer head. That makes sense. It's on its crown and it's made out of bone. That makes sense. Okay. But it took me forever to figure that the fuck out. Otherwise, though, other than those one or two instances, the game was pretty easy to do. It just those two were really fucking infuriating for me because I literally spent a couple hours trying to figure out like 3 different things.
Yeah.
And oh my god, it was terrible. And once I figured it out, I was like, I feel like such a fucking dumb shit.
Well, as it stands for $5, what do you think of it?
I actually didn't know what the price was. It's only $5. Fuck yep. Yeah, go for it. Totally go for it. I figured, as long as it was under $10, I say fucking go for it. And it's $5. Hell yeah, totally.
Why not?
It's worth it. Yeah, it does have nudity and supposedly gore in it. I didn't find any of it to be really gory. It's all pixely though, but there is nudity in it. You can turn it off, which is kind of funny. I thought it was hilarious. I loved it.
Pixel nudity.
Yeah. And it says there's lots of endings. There's a total of 5 or 6, and almost all of them are just a choice at the very end.
Nah.
So, yeah, it's kind of sad that the ending's gone that way. After you beat it, though, there's an extra chapter, a bonus chapter that opens, and each one of the endings gives you a different epilogue.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I thought that was really nice, because you don't see that too often in video games. Usually you choose an ending, and it ends.
You get an ending, yeah.
And this one, it gives you a little epilogue. They're not very long. They're like 2 or 3 minutes max. But they're nice.
Something.
They're cool. Yeah. So, yeah, for $5, fuck yeah. Totally buy this. It was fucking hilarious. It was so goddamn funny, because Lester doesn't believe in magic, and he's been pulled into magic, and he eventually starts using magic. It's fucking hilarious.
Awesome. Sounds good. Well, Dark Mika, thank you as always for coming on, chatting about these games. Mm-hmm. We are going to move on, so we're going to let you get going. Do you have any final words?
Titty sprinkles.
Titty sprinkles, of course. All right. Take care, Dark Mika.
See ya.
Bye.
All right, next game to talk about is called Electronic Super Joy 2, developed by Michael Todd Games, published by 2 and 30 Software, released August 9th on Steam for $12.99, but I've been told it is 100% off forever. Isn't that nuts? Yes.
Really?
I've been told by Michael Todd that the game is $12.99 normal price, but it is 100% off forever. So this game is free. If what I'm told is correct, it's fucking free. So there's your answer to the review to begin with. But anyway, Electronic Super Joy 2 is a brutally hard platformer set in a world of brain-smashing electronic music. Run, jump, smash, and slice your way through 55 weird and different levels with giant monsters, swarming missiles, and secret areas. Cole, tell us about it.
So if you've played the first Electronic Super Joy, you're already like halfway there to knowing what 2 is about. But there's some shakeups here. It's been 6 years since the first Electronic Super Joy. The story for that, well, since it hit Steam, it's been not quite as long since it hit Xbox, but since it first hit Steam, it's been 6 years. 6 years since you lost your butt to an evil wizard.
I love that was the story of the first game.
Oh, then you're really going to like the second one.
Oh, what's the story?
Hold on a second, because it's been 6 years for fans of hardcore platformers with thumping soundtracks and all kinds of bad puns that have been orgasmically fantasizing about when the sequel would come out. Well, now it's landed in our laps.
Yes, it has.
And now it has golden butts.
Golden butts. Oh, Jesus.
To be more specific, it is Mega Satan's golden butt.
Oh, my God.
And it grants wishes. And you're going to steal it.
I love the fact that Ashley started the car and it linked up to my phone and started playing. I don't know if my mic picked that up or not.
I didn't hear it.
But my music just started playing on my phone because she started the car. Technology, kids.
Fantastic. Meanwhile, my car does good if it starts.
Anyway, as you were saying.
You're going to steal Mega Satan's golden butt. How
Yay.
is that not enough on its own? You get to steal Mega Satan's golden butt for free. Allegedly. How does that not already just have everybody turning off the podcast and going to download this game? I don't know.
True.
I don't know. But if you're still listening, if you're not sold, here's what you're going to get. It is the exact same kind of art style as Electronic Superjoy. It has the bright colors. Everything's very vivid. There's definitely some photo seizure sensitivity bullshit going on. Please be aware of that. If you're like, oh yeah, I'll play a hard platformer, but you have seizures, maybe don't. I know you can, there's quite a few settings you can shut down. They're very good about that as far as this game goes, but I don't necessarily think that you can turn on like screen shake down, but I don't think you can get rid of all the neon flashy goodness.
Yeah.
If you enjoyed the moaning and groaning every time you hit a checkpoint, I'm happy to tell you that is back.
Yay. I mean, yay.
It is every bit as inappropriate as it was before. However, if you have problems with swearing, pixelated blood, murder, orgasms, slime, farts, tentacles, blasphemy, and the devil, I've got good news. There's a PG mode and you can turn it all off.
Yay.
But why would you want to?
For the children.
You don't take away the experience of chasing after the golden butt, okay? So, the platforming is every bit as grueling. I was so disillusioned at the beginning of this game because I thought, wow, they really made this a lot more accessible. I was wrong. I was still just in the tutorial.
Oh, God.
I will say one thing first. The controller bindings for keyboard are bad. And I think that's less to do with the game and more to do with I just don't play with keyboards well.
Probably.
So I did plug in a controller and it played beautifully with a controller. I was even using a 360 controller because I was too damn lazy to desync one of my Xbox ones. So I was using a USB 360 controller. It was playing very well. But one thing that got me about that is that the game didn't recognize I was using a controller for the sake of the tutorial part. And so it would still pop up and say, use Z to jump. Use X to air dash. I think it was air dash that I got stuck on for so fucking long. Because there's new abilities. And you have to actually find the power-ups in the level to use them to solve. That adds more of a puzzle element to the game. But it would still say, use Z. And then I'm sitting there going, I don't have a Z on a controller. This is not a Nintendo controller. What was the one for the Nintendo? Remember that had the third?
Yeah, they had Z.
Yeah, we don't have that. And so I was super confused, and then I would keep pressing all the buttons, and it wouldn't do what I wanted, and then I'd hit Y on accident and restarted the checkpoint, and at least I get to listen to more moaning to make up for my fuckery. It was even worse when it would say press X to do this, And so then my mind goes, well, fuck, I know where X is at on an Xbox controller. I got this. Dink, 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 dink. Nothing happening. So it would have been nice if the game would like dummy it for you if it recognized you were using controller input somehow.
Yeah.
Or just show you both options. Here's the keyboard. Here's the controller option. Figure it out, dumbass. Whichever one you're using. Would have been fine. I did eventually figure it out. And from that point, I went on to die a lot. So one of my biggest struggles with the first Electronic Super Joy is that the speedrun clock was always going and the death counter was always there. And so you could just see your failure constantly reminding you that you were bad at the game. You can turn those off in 2.
Yay!
And that is such a huge relief, especially because they've added in those puzzle elements where you have to plan when you're going to get the power up and use it rather than just dashing through shit. Being able to turn that off and not feel punished if I die 312 times before I figure out when to triple jump is very nice.
Oh boy.
It does add to that. Just I know it seems like such a dumb thing. You can be like, well, ignore it. But when it's up in the corner, always moving and counting down, and it's telling you spent 30 minutes on this level, it's hard to ignore.
Yeah.
So it is nice to be able to get rid of that if you don't want to deal with it. Excuse me. It made the game a lot more manageable, and I didn't feel as rushed. Even though the screen is moving and you're still going to die if you sit there too long, I didn't feel as rushed. Like I could take a second to stand where I was and look at where I needed to go.
Yeah.
There are an insane amount of levels. I want to say it was something like 55 or 60 levels. There's some secrets. There's some hidden shit. There is just so much to this game that I don't know how anybody would get through it in a day or two. Like you would have to just dedicate your whole life for a week to Electronic Super Joy to just get through everything and make a decent time at it if that was your thing. It was not my thing. I just wanted to survive. You know you're going to die. So just, I think the best way to go into it is just going, I know I'm going to eat shit, but at least I'm going to have fun doing it.
Yeah.
It was super, super fun. I definitely enjoyed 2 better than 1. And I actually really enjoyed 1, even though it was super hard for me. But 2 was just by large better. Yeah, I missed a note and then I realized that I'd already said it, so it's fine.
That works. So yeah. I'll just ask you for $12.99, 100% off forever. What do you think?
What the fuck are you doing if you don't buy it? Like, even if you don't think you're going to be good at it, sometimes it's nice to just have that challenge there, and the fact that you can do it at your own pace makes it that much better. You feel so accomplished because Electronic Super Joy is one of those games where people are like, oh yeah, that shit's so hard. And you're like, oh yeah, I beat it. They don't need to know it took you 13 years. You can just do it.
True. Oh man. Next game to talk about is called As Divine Menace, developed by X-Create, published by Kemco, released August 2nd on Xbox One and Windows 10 for $14.99. A century after the events of As Divine Dios, peace is finally set in. That is, until a visitor from another world suddenly shows up proclaiming the entire universe is about to be destroyed. Hearing this, you set off in an attempt to reverse the seemingly pronounced fate with a trio of very idiosyncratic spirits as they crisscross 4 worlds in search of an answer. But what is the answer they find? Cole, tell us about As Divine Menace.
As Divine Menace is kind of a breakout for X-Create and Kemco. They never do sequels. We've seen other entries into the As Divine universe, but they were not direct sequels. As Divine Menace is a direct sequel to As Divine Dios. So,
there's an As Divine Hearts too, right?
Yes. That isn't, like I said, it's another one that's just off, but isn't, this is not a direct sequel to that. It's just in that same universe. Yeah. So they do those, but they're not sequels. This one is the first actual sequel. It's the exact same characters. We play as the god Izayoi, and his sprites, Iris, and the other ones that you pick up along the way. I don't want to spoil all their names. I had stopped myself. Holy shit. I better quit that. But it takes place 100 years after the events of As Divine Dios. If you have not played that one, it will fucking spoil it. And that is a big deal because, as I've said with the other ones, you can play them. They're in the same universe, but they stand alone and they don't spoil anything. If you play this and you haven't played Dios, well, fuck you. You're going to get that spoiler. So maybe actually play these two in order. As I said, you play as Izayoi. It's 100 years after the events of the first game, but the events of the first game have left Izayoi in a weakened state. And so he's back down to level 1 again. Thankfully, they did not go for the amnesia trope. I guess
we see a lot in games like that.
Literally all of them. Like, as soon as I started it up, I'm sitting there going, please don't have amnesia. Please don't have amnesia. Please don't have amnesia. He didn't have amnesia. I was so proud. Then they had to figure out how to justify that he was at level 1 again, but at least he didn't have amnesia. Shit. Keep dropping things. God damn it today. But anyway, he's suffered a loss of his powers, as part of saving the world previously, and you're stuck on this mission again. You pick up the same, not all the same. There are a couple of different spots that will come onto your path this time. The biggest thing that bugs me, As Divine Dios was really bad with it. They try to fit in these like anime romance tropes to it, and they were very cringy and weird in literally every one of these. This one is no different, and it gets to a point where you're just like, I wish I could skip the dialogue faster because I hate the way these fuckers interact with each other. I just want to go slice some monsters. And it will not let you. I will say, if you actually care about all the cringe-inducing dialogue, you can do it in all of them, but I always forget to mention it. You can actually press start, and it will give you a transcript from the whole little cutscene. So if you hit fast forward too much and you miss some important information, as I am wont to do, you can press start and go back and reread the cringe or get the information that you passed by trying to pass up the cringe. It's as far as the gameplay goes, again, it's X-Create and Kimco. They're like the Artifex Mundi of RPGs.
Yeah, you know what you're getting when you go into it.
Nobody goes into these blind, especially not as far as the sequel one would go. You look at it and you go, okay, I'm going to wander around until I run into an enemy, and then I'm going to spam X, or maybe I'll break up the monotony and do a spell or cast some magic. One of the biggest things for me when I play these games is that I always find myself over-leveled stupid fast.
Yeah.
Because I have exploratory syndrome. I see places, I must go to them.
Yes, I am the same way in RPGs.
And so then I find a good 2 or 3 hours can get lost before I even go find my first mission. And then I get there and I'm like, I'm level 8 already. And I'm just smashing through everything without even having to use any abilities. Most of the time, there are difficulty modes. I don't remember choosing a difficulty for this one though, and I still found myself getting overpowered or being overpowered. And I'm like, I don't know if it wasn't there or if it was a setting that I missed or whatever, but it's a lot easier than I expected it to be.
Which I wouldn't say is a bad thing in RPGs. I kind of like the easier ones. Yeah,
not necessarily. I mean, I'm not mad when I go into a fight and I can just kind of spam it and let it win. But it would be nice because they do go into all this effort to add these spells and to have the items and and, the fusions and everything, trying to make everybody work well together. And I always skip over them because I find I just flat out don't need them.
Yeah. Because
I get overpowered. Otherwise, I give it a solid try. Like, it's exactly what you would expect from this developer, from this series. If you like it, if you've played the other ones, sometimes it's nice to just go on a monster slashing adventure and not have to put a whole lot of thought into it.
Yeah, which is why I love these Kemco games and why I own every single Kemco game that has been released so far. I've picked up every single one, and I usually give the reviews to other people. So I'm buying these games and supporting these RPGs on Xbox One because that's what I preach. I got to practice what I preach, right?
That's very true. You do a good job, and I'm proud of you.
Yay. Next game to talk about is called Must-Dash Amigos, developed and published by Mini Beast Game Studios. It released August 7th on Xbox One for $17.99. A top-down battle racer filled with piñata stampedes, avocados, and mayhem for up to 4 players. Must-Dash Amigos is a humorous, family-friendly fun fest with simple controls for anyone to play. Cole, tell us about Must-Dash Amigos.
So this is a simple top-down racer, and players choose one of 4 characters, including a lucha wrestler or a mariachi. There's also like a Mexican Yeti type looking thing. I have no idea what it's supposed to be, and they just describe him as a mystical beast.
That
and
works.
I'm like, you're a thing. And then you can also play as a little island girl. So that right out of the gate leads me to my first kind of fuss about the game. That's it. There's 4 characters. You can have up to 4-player multiplayer, and there's literally just enough characters for everybody to pick somebody that looks different.
Yeah, well, a lot of 4-player games are like that, so I wouldn't consider that a big fault.
No, I'm not saying. I just said fuss. I mean, It's just like, it would be nice if you could change their colors or something. I will say I laughed when I picked the mariachi player and realized that her name is Maria Chi. It's a pun on mariachi.
I get it.
And I was just like, oh.
Yeah.
So it's a thing, and be prepared for that. When you are actually playing the races, there's a few different ways to go about it. I will give these guys some major props that they took what's obviously meant to be a multiplayer local co-op type game, and they tried to give it a single player mode.
Yeah, I'll give them credit for trying.
I'm impressed with the effort.
Yes.
But maybe not necessarily with what we got. Because what do we hate, Joe?
Time trials.
Time trials are shit.
And what is the first thing under single player?
Time
trials.
I want to know what monster gets those gold scores. That's all I want to know. Because I was absolutely booking ass through these tracks and catching every gold pinata power up that was an option. I was avoiding all of the pinata stampedes that will slow you down. I didn't blow myself up with a goddamn bomb. I was doing really good. And yet I was still like 2 seconds shy of the gold.
Oh, I think I got 1 gold.
I did get 1, but on all the others, I was like, just there. And I'm like, yeah, fuck you. I can't possibly imagine how to shave more time off.
I don't know. On the plus side, they do have challenges as well.
That is where things get better. Hallelujah. There are challenges. Those challenges, some of them are really fucking hard. Did you do the one where you have to control the 2 amigos?
I tried.
By yourself.
I tried horribly.
If you've ever played Overcooked single player, you already have this concept on lock, and you also probably hate it. Because they take the controller and they split it in half. So the left half of the controller goes to purple, The right half of the controller goes to aqua blue. So your goal is use your left thumbstick to move your purple character. Use your right thumbstick to move your blue character. LB and RB respectively will use your power-ups. Go.
Good luck.
If one of your characters gets left behind to the point that they go off the screen, which is inevitably going to happen,
you lose.
You lose. You have to get them both there. Joe.
And there's a timer.
This is where I was going. Because I shit you not, I got them there. They were standing under the pennant banner side by side.
Oh, no. And you ran out of time.
The timer hit 0 before the game acknowledged they existed.
Oh, no. I didn't even get close.
Never wanted to break a controller so bad in my life as that second where I'm like, I did it. Why didn't I do it?
Yeah.
And then I see the timer and I'm just like, fuck. I'm going to go play Electronic Super Drink because it's not this infuriating. And that's what I did.
Man.
Sorry to the depth. Because I did have a lot of fun. But this game really just plays best when you're playing it with other people.
Yeah, and that's why you covered it, because you have your built-in multiplayer.
I did, and I put them to work on it. And so at that point, we started to have more fun. There are different multiplayer modes. You can do races. You can do battles. You can do tournaments. It's far more enjoyable to be running around these tracks with other people running around them with you. When you're playing a single player and you're just going around and you're trying to beat the clock, you just want to take a hammer to the clock.
Yeah.
But when you're playing with other people, the power-ups have more value. When you're playing alone and you're using the bomb, there's nobody to blow up but you, dumbass. And that's a horrible tragedy, unless you blow up the Stampede when they're coming for you. But then you still end up slowing your own self down. It's not worth it. You can drop it. Good luck remembering to do that.
Yeah, I've used bombs so many times.
When you're trying to beat the clock, you don't have time to stop and go, which button was the drop? How do I get rid of the bomb? You don't have time for that. Especially when you're trying to get 2 of those fuckers to the end.
Yeah.
I'm not salty.
I do have another minor gripe with the game. I did not appreciate the fact that after every single event you do in the game, it boots you back to the main menu.
Right. You start all over.
Yeah. Like you have to hit start to proceed to like the single player, multiplayer selection. It's like, just put me back to the menu, not like the splash screen.
I have one other thing. Did you ever find where you use the mustache coins you get?
You can unlock different outfits.
Can you? I
Yes.
could not find it to save myself. I knew it had to be something, but I couldn't figure out where.
Yeah, you can unlock outfits.
Okay. So I was going to be like, the hell is this for? Why is it giving me money and then not giving me anything to do about it? But, yeah, I have a ton of money just sitting there, so I'm going to have to go buy me some outfits.
And then, of course, the other glaring lack with this game is no online play, which is a shame, especially in an $18 game. I was hoping it would have online play.
I would have definitely enjoyed more if I could have played with friends. It's all well and good to play with my kids, but
friends are better.
They're back to school at this point, and that leaves me like 12 hours a day to not play with my kids. I want to play with my friends. And my friends don't exist within a 1,000-mile radius of me, so we got to have some online play.
Yeah.
And especially, like you said, at that price point, it kind of feels like it should have been a given.
Yeah, but at $18, what is your verdict on Mustache Amigos?
If you have people to play it with, I give it a recommended try it. It is fun, and it is funny, but if you're playing it alone, it's a little more on the lacking side. Yeah.
Single player, it's best to avoid this one. But if you have people to play with, fucking do it, because it's a blast.
Mm-hmm.
And a shout out to No Time for Games dropping 277 biddies. What an odd specific amount, but Norg, take it away.
Dropping bits!
Yes, thank you, Norg.
Whee! Wet pancakes.
No wet pancakes on this one.
I know, I'm just dropping wet pancakes in
You want
chat
wet pancakes?
because I can. I do. It's been a while.
Wet pancakes!
There you go. You got your wet pancakes.
Yay! I can't even hear them.
Listen to the full show and you'll totally get your wet pancakes. But next game to talk about is called Damsel, developed and published by Screwtape Studios, releasing August 7th on Xbox One for released August 7th on Xbox One for $16.99. Cause distress in this challenging, fast-paced action platformer. Experience a dark cartoon world come to life as frenetic gameplay meets comic book visuals and storytelling. Dash through beautiful arenas, vanquishing vampires, rescuing hostages, disarming bombs, hacking servers, and much more. Cole, tell us about Damsel.
Okay, so Damsel is like a comic book if instead of pages, it had 2D action platformer levels. That's like the best way to describe it, because the game is literally set up with a comic book aesthetic, and you go into the different episodes, there's 3 of them, as comic books, and then you choose one of the 25 levels per episode from there. It takes place in a world where humans and vampires live in relative peace. There's a synthetic blood drink called Red Mist. It's very reminiscent of True Blood. I was actually doing a little research. Apparently there's a Australian camp film with the same kind of concept as well, and the devs for this are Australian. I haven't seen it though, so I'm just going to keep drawing back to True Blood on it, and everybody just has to deal with that. The synthetic blood Red Mist makes it so that, the vampires and humans can kind of coexist without issues, the obvious issues. However, there has been a dramatic uptick in human abductions. So we have our heroine. Every time I say that, I'm saying heroine on accident. And her name is Damsel, and it's her job to go figure out what the fuck is going on here. She's going to jump, double jump, kick, dash, and shoot her way through these levels and a slew of vampires. While she's at it, she's going to have to disarm bombs, save human hostages, hack PCs, and just all kinds of insane, chaotic, ass-kicking shit for her to do in every level. So there are 75 levels in all.
That's a lot.
There are a lot. This is another one of those, though, where if you're playing in long spells, then you might feel that it's repetitive. There's, a lot of kill this many vampires, or hack this many computers, or dismantle this many bombs. And after a while, you're like, yeah, I've done this before.
Yeah. And can I take a quick second to say how much I hated disarming bombs?
The bombs are my biggest bitch about this game, because there's no explanation on how to do it whatsoever.
Yeah.
And so you're just kind of left like trying to wing it, and you can lose an entire level's progress because you fuck up on one bomb that's just a little wonky. One of the best things for me about the game is that it knows it can be hard, but it doesn't lock casual players out by being hard, because it has a chill out difficulty.
Yeah.
So if you just want to go in there, take your time, you don't give a fuck about the speed running, you don't give a fuck about the high score, you just want to go smash some vampires and hack some computers and get fucked by the bombs, you can do that, because chill out mode doesn't allow you to die from taking damage. It basically gives you invincibility. That doesn't mean you can't fail. You can still fail.
You could still blow up those bombs.
Those bombs will still get you every goddamn time. You can also accidentally shoot a hostage and lose that way, or not meet some other criteria. There, like I said, there's quite a few for them to choose from. So as long as you miss an objective, you're still gonna fail. But if you sit there and get in a part where you fall into spikes and you can't figure out how to get out, then you're not going to die from that. You'll just keep getting knocked back, and it's not the end of the world. I love that aspect because you can set it to chill out and just go through the levels as fast as fuck, going for those objectives and getting speedrun times. It's kind of a cheat.
Yeah.
But it was also really cool because I was challenging myself to run through it as a pacifist to see if I could complete levels without killing any of the vampires while still getting the objectives. You can't on all of them because some of them's objective is kill the fucking vampires.
Yeah.
But on the other ones, I was like, can I get all 4 control centers? All of the computers? Can I hack them all? And I fucking could. Without killing anybody because they couldn't kill me either, so it was fine. We had like a
self-imposed hard mode.
Yeah, but it was a neat way to take on an already interesting game.
Yeah.
There's just so much to do, and you get to play it the way that you want. That's what I loved about it most. Because usually it's like, oh, you didn't do it in this amount of time, you don't get to progress. It's like, no, we don't care how you accomplish it. Just do it. And once you get your little check mark, you go on to the next level. You want to come back and play that level again and get a better time? Go for it. You don't? Go for it. Either way is fine. And the game doesn't punish you for wanting to play it your way.
Yeah. Well, overall, $17 on Damsel. What do you think?
I give this a huge butt because not only I forgot to mention too. I stopped talking because I missed a note. You're not just limited to that campaign. There is also an arcade mode, and then there is what's called the Damsel Dash, and it's a daily challenge mode for people that want to tackle other players' leaderboards. So if you really are into it and you want to go into it and try to get those super awesome scores and knock people out of the top spot, that's an option you can do.
Yeah,
and
I've seen a bunch of friends on top of some of the early leaderboards, so it's definitely a fun competition up there.
Even just like pushing myself to not get any kills and just go straight for objectives, there are still times where I'm sitting there going, fucking how? Fucking hackers. That's all there is to that. 3
seconds, kiss my ass.
Yeah. Yeah, seriously.
But yeah, overall, I'll buy it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. One final game to talk about tonight is called Sagebrush, developed by Redact Games, published by WRASSLECAST, released August 6th on PS4, 7th on Xbox, 9th on Switch for $5.99. Inspired by real-world cults, Sagebrush is a first-person narrative-driven adventure game which thrusts players into the life role of a truth seeker who must investigate the tragic circumstances of the Perfect Heaven cult's mass suicide. Cole, what is Sagebrush?
I feel like I'm starting to get typecasted with these cult reviews.
Hey, you wanted the newest WRASSLECAST game, so you got it.
You know, though, I'm not disappointed in that. Like, this may be my most favorite WRASSLECAST game yet.
That's high praise.
It is. But to be fair, we all know I like walking simulators.
Yes.
And that is what you're getting here. There is like one puzzle where you have to watch a video to get a code for a thing. No spoilers. Go watch your own damn guides for it. They're out there. But it is a narrative adventure, and you are going through this ranch and exploring and getting details and backstory and piecing the story together of what events led up to this cult committing mass suicide. It's not for the faint of heart. It's really not. There's some pretty harsh topics covered in it, which I think surprised me more than anything because I went into this like, it's a WRASSLECAST game. But
it's going to be happy and cheery, and I'm going to get 1,000 gamer score in 5 minutes.
It's fine. 40 minutes.
Not bad.
But it's fine. No, and that's like if you don't... it took me a little longer, but I didn't use the guide. I just used it for like making sure I had collectibles rather than actually telling me where to go. So like I was exploring and looking for all the backstory stuff, so I took longer. But even still, I think it took maybe an hour and a half, maybe an hour 45.
Not bad for $6.
No, it's still super quick, but it's really in depth. There's a lot to explore. I have mixed feelings on the art style they've used for this. It's almost like they tried to make 3D voxel art that you could explore like in an open world kind of way, but it's all grainy and it's got that, 1970s orange and green color scheme feel about it with the sun setting and the desert, the New Mexico desert as your landscape. And there's just times where it can be a little difficult to see because of that, where it's got it's not quite pixel art because it is 3D, but it's not quite voxel either, but it's definitely not realism. And it's frustrating, but it's also kind of ugly on purpose,
Yeah.
It's one of those where it looks really good, but it's also just meant to fucking be ugly.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a shame. And I think in some ways it adds interest because things don't look quite like you would expect. But in other ways, it kind of pulls you out of it because it's like, those are some fucked up looking cactus guys. Cacti, number one, would be yelling at me. So it's visually, it's a thing. But as far as like the narrative that it's trying to tell and the way that you explore it, I absolutely adored it.
Nice. So your overall verdict at $6?
I mean, it's a 40-minute completion. And if you like walking sims, it's actually a really good story. I'm not going to go for a fuck it, why not? I'm just going to flat out give it a buy it.
Nice.
Yeah, I think it deserves it.
Rattle Lake has been doing pretty good lately. They've had a bunch of solid games coming out.
This one was developed by, I want to say Refunct?
Redact Games.
Redact, yes. And they self-published it on Steam, but Rattleka published it on consoles for them. So I did some research.
I'm proud of you.
Yeah, me too. But yeah, it's definitely top tier. Like I don't know, I might even say it's the best Rattleka game. I think that's how I feel about it.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't know, I think Hoggy and Super Wilo D-Make are two tough contenders. I'll have to pick up Sagebrush and give it a go. Yeah,
see, I haven't played those two, but
you should.
All know.
They're really good.
We all know I like my walking sims.
Yeah, true.
So I admit it. I'm biased in that regard anyway. And I love like the freaky cult stuff and things that can make you uneasy. And they do a really good job here.
Nice. Well, only one question left. What is your pick of the week?
I think you might be surprised. It's Damsel.
I thought you were going to go with Electronic Superjoy.
I know, me too, but it hurt my feelings. So I'm going for Damsel. I think the accessibility of it was what sold me on it. And I just enjoyed playing it. Like, I didn't get irritated or frustrated. I didn't feel like I had anything to prove. I just wanted to do it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I enjoyed Damsel. It's a cool one. I'm going to have to put some more time into it, but I enjoyed it.
I can't be mad at a kick-ass chick that takes out vampires either, though.
Very true.
It's after my own heart right there.
Oh, man. Well, that is it for this episode. Another fun one. Thanks again to Tim for coming on, chatting wrestling. Thanks to Dark Mika for coming on and chatting her games. Thanks to you for being here.
Yay, me.
Yay, you.
And thanks for everybody else. But me, I'm the best.
Yeah. Thanks to me, because I'm awesome too. Allegedly.
Yeah, we'll keep you.
Oh, cat scratching at the furniture. Thank you. Yeah, that's cool. Just broom that. Yeah. Claw the fuck out of it. Just claw the fuck out of it. Yeah. All right. That is it for this episode. Cole, do you have any final words to end it?
Claw the fuck out of it.